Good evening, everybody. The mic worked first time, and I'm pretty happy about that. Hi, it's Beej. You're joining me here on a bonus stream on the Loading Ready Run Entertainment Network. I sound a lot more excited than maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe I'm fooling you all. I know what's important is that on tonight's bonus stream, we are playing Fallout. No, we're not. We're not playing Fallout tonight. Got everyone excited for half a second. I have my tea with me. This is good. This is, I believe someone sent this to us, courtesy Cha Cha Cha. The flavor is lemon green, and it is a green tea with lime pieces in it. But it's delicious when you just like let it, like it's probably even better hot. But I've been cold brewing this. I mean, just letting it sit in the fridge, and then I've been just sweetening it and. Hell yeah. Oh, oh, that's good. And then on top of that, I've got pie. So we're going to settle in for a piece of pie in the anime roundup. Mm-hmm. Mm. And all this pie is brought to you by you and your support of the Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Also because you support us on YouTube, becoming a YouTube member, even just subbing, liking, sharing, all the whole thing. Let your friends know is what I say is like, drop hints in places that we exist. That's always good for us. Make your family watch us. Raise your children to enjoy our content. But also, twitch.tv, and I see all the Twitchers out there. Thank you, chat. It's been fun watching you type so far. And also the store at store.loadingreadyrun.com, where you can buy all the great merch. I'm not wearing any of it today, which is unusual because I seem to keep... It's cold these days in the moon base, and we do have control over stuff. I got it set to like 21 right now, and I could maybe turn it up one. We'll see. Well, if I get all uncomfortable, maybe we'll do that. It's my room today, though. I have control because it is the 2024 summer review. That's June, July, August... No, July, August, September. Yes, that's summer. That's fall. No, that's summer, because January is winter. Yes, that's how it works. So, July, August, September, we're reviewing everything that happened, and if you want to follow along with what I'll be doing here, you can go to anichart.net, anichart.net. I'd like to blow it up nice and big so you can follow along with what I'm seeing. You do not have to specifically... I'll get a bit of a tickle, I apologize. You do not have to specifically like blow it up this big if that's what you're, if you just want to sit back and listen, feel free to listen. This will probably go a little longer than I expected, not until 9 o'clock, just because we had to start so late because we were trying to get the damn computer to recognize the gaming PC again. But Ian worked very hard to make sure that would happen. Maybe little bites would be better. Then I can talk to you guys. Let's start. Nigoriri is what the hashtag says. Oh shit, this is 24 episodes. Well, whatever. 2.5, Jigen no Riri-sa. Yes, I watched a few episodes of this. Boy, they make it look filthy as hell. If it is filthy as hell, the first few episodes don't really belie any sort of really erotic kind of what. It's none of that, really. They certainly want to make it feel like it's, oh, look at how erotic it is, but also they're high school students, so we can't go that far. And I'm like, yeah, no, it really isn't. I don't know if it gets weirder the longer it rolls on, but I do know that I lost interest reasonably fast because I was just like, I don't like the fact that he seems to be into this one because he looks like the girl the 2D girl that he lusts after, but then this one shows up and she's all like, I liked the series and I like this guy because I'm a childhood friend, but I'm the hottest model in the goddamn world, and I want to dress up as this one so that he'll fall in love with me. But now she's dressing up as this one, and I don't fit into the outfit because my boobs aren't big enough. So I have to play the counterpart who always gets left behind because the main character in this one are in love. And I'm like, right, I know how this is going. And I was like, I really noped out hard because I'm like, I don't care at this point. It's whatever. So, and I guess they add more characters as time progresses. Sure, they do. It largely didn't matter to me. If you were having a good time watching it, I imagine you're probably reading the manga beforehand. But if you had a great time, that's great. Because remember the rules here? Smut is a thing that happens, and you're allowed to like smut, and that's okay, right? There's going to be no judgment here. We're going to have fun. We're going to goof on that a bit because we should also laugh at ourselves. Human beings should do that. We're all going to be safe here and comfortable in those kind of things. I'm not laughing at you if you like smut, because I like smut too. We're all going to have different tastes and that kind of thing. But you gotta, cop to it in your own brain and be like, it's okay that I like smut. I don't have to share it with everybody else, but it's okay that I like smut. And also, if I don't like a thing that you liked, that didn't mean you did something badly. That just means that we have different tastes. Because I've seen a lot of you in chat be like, oh, I didn't like that. Why does Beej like? And it's like, yes, why does Beej? What made me this way? I can't really say. So let's move on. I dropped that. Oshinoko got a second season. Fantastic. The it needs a 13th episode. Absolutely, it does. So we've caught up. Heather and I are caught up right now. This season was not what I expected because like over half of the season is concentrating on the rotating stage, the stage round, whatever you want to call it, for this like stage play about a manga. And it really wanted to drill down on Aqua, but like all the like his girlfriend and the girl who wants to be his girlfriend and like all that kind of stuff. It's very interesting. The thing is, like, it's interesting. If that's what the series was about, I probably wouldn't continue watching it. Fortunately, the episode 11 and episode 12 have done a lot to say, no, wait, you made it to the end of this thing? Great, because this is the interesting part. This is the shit you care about. And it's like, yeah, this is the shit I've cared about. And you made me sit through 10 episodes of stuff that, by and large, I wasn't that concerned about. And now here we are with the actual, the nut meat of the matter, the thing that I actually gave a shit about in the first place. So... And now Heather and I are like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens. Earlier, it's like, oh, the technical stuff, very interesting. Oh, how people turn into actors, whatever. So that's, a lot of background painting. And I'm like, it's just a lot of background painting. But still, it was good. I've ultimately enjoyed it. As for Atri, I think Heather and I both watched 7 episodes. We were going to give up after 3. And I think we had watched an episode where they had said all the kids, like all these, like, there's teenagers. He's like older than a teenager by like a year or 2 or whatever. This is the robot. They were all like, we want to have electricity so we can read books at school at night. And then he's like, well, the school that we seem to have to walk to on top of a hill that's also like flooded from when the sea level rose, but we have to walk to it on top of a hill. There is the tide comes in every night. And so if we build a tidal generator, we can create, I'm giving shit away because you shouldn't care. But I did. I was like, oh my God, like, yes, I want to see you, like, I want this. I want Atri's whole presence to be the inspiration that gets this guy off his ass to be like, you know what? I can help turn this place that we're all just kind of existing back into a place where we're living. Because nobody wants to go to the mainland from this like island area where they're all stuck. They all want to kind of stick it out here. And I'm like, early on, right? It's like, oh, well, this will be a great thing of they'll build a tidal generator and then they'll start to do some other things. And then as the improvement happens, he'll like start to awaken to other things. And the mystery between him and Atri will start to become more clear. And I was just like, and it seems like now that's what's going to happen because they got kind of like through the 2 episodes where that's going to happen. Now this is going to happen. And I was just like, oh, I don't care anymore. Shit. Oh no. I actually don't care anymore about this story. And neither does Heather. And we kind of like, we soldiered on to episode 7. And it's like, oh, we gave this more than we would have, that we really wanted to give it. Because it was like, I want to see them build a title generator. And I want to see them do more to improve everyone's lives. And then when that kind of was done, I'm like, I don't care about this. Oh, they might have known each other, or they did absolutely know each other in the past, and her memories are coming back. Robot who doesn't have all her memories or some shit. And I'm talking way too much about this thing that I ended up not being interested in watching. It still bugs me that the school seems to be at a high level, further up from everything else, which is all dry now, or has been dry always, but it's flooded. But also because they drilled down to the first floor, that the water comes. That's where they have the title generator. They seal the entire classroom off so that the water comes in there and makes the thing spin, and the water goes out. And I'm like, yeah, that would make sense if that was underground, quite deep. But I guess you have a natural spring that's now like when the water comes in, it's like powering through all the way underneath, like whatever, and then up, and it kind of coalesces and like it's coming in through and I'm like, I guess that's what's happening, because it seems weird that is what's happening when you're up on like an elevator. It just I'm moving on. Bye Earth. Didn't watch this, so we'll move on from this. It's like anthropomorphic animals, and I was like, yeah, but no, I wasn't interested. Cardfight Vanguard, wasn't interested in that. Delico's Nursery, wasn't interested in that. I want more Shadow's House, goddammit. Anyway, Dungeon People, Dungeon no Naka no Hito. Just watched the last one of these today, I believe. Yeah, that makes sense. That was a lot of fun. It was very light. It was very entertaining. It was kind of goofy and different, and nothing of consequence happens in this show. If you haven't watched it, you're meaning to watch it. There's no great reveal. If it's supposed to be based around, it says it's from a manga, and if there's going to be more development in it, then great. Really just kind of seems like this was designed to like celebrate the manga existing, and that you should go read more of it. And it's kind of just nice and fun. It's not at all challenging. And I like when this is this is an exercise mostly in world building and a little bit of character work. But yeah, plot wise, it's like this is not meant to be, or at least the anime is not meant to be an exploration of plot. Fairy Tale, no. Giji Harem. This is the one where she can pretend she's like an actress and he works for the acting club. I know it's not called that, but I kind of don't care. And she's a first year, and so she's like, "Oh, cool! I will pretend to be all the different types of girls that you would have in your harem." This is pseudo harem, right? Giji harem. And so it's like, oh, I like this boy. The structure of the show, it makes it feel like this manga is a yonkoma, like first and foremost. And the structure of the show largely belies that as well. But it's not charming in its production like the way Nichijou is, which Nichijou isn't even a yonkoma, or Azumanga Daioh, which is mostly yonkoma, but also has some like full chapter parts. And I'm like, yeah, this is kind of it's kind of its thing, right? It's the way that it is. And that's why I dropped it after the first episode. Gimai Seikatsu, or Days with My Stepsister, was actually really good. And I think that's largely to taste. These two are now step siblings. And was this a manga? This is original. No, this is a light novel. Yeah. You can tell this is a light novel. It is slow. so slow. Um, it's kind of nice, but you gotta like slow burn. And because of the ambiguity of because of the ambiguity throughout the show, it's not one of those things where you're like, oh, they're gonna get together, or oh, they're gonna try to get together, but they'll have to stay apart, or like it's that's what's really great about it is it is incredibly ambiguous about what's going to happen, and I really liked that. Um, Heather decided she didn't want to watch any more of it because she was like, I think it's just too slow, and she's not really enjoying it because we were watching it together for a while. And so I watched like the last 4 episodes, I think today, because I had some time, and I was like, oh yeah, I just got back from the Bottle Depot. What am I going to do? Oh, I'll finish the show, and I did, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, felt pretty good. Felt pretty good. You know, not my show of the season or anything like that, but I was like, oh, this was good. I like this all right. You know, nice, a nice thing to in my lineup of stuff to watch, but not anything that got me super excited. Grandizer U couldn't find anywhere, so I ended up not watching it. I think I tracked it down at some point somewhere from somebody, but it doesn't really matter. Hazure waku no joutai ijo skill de saikyo ni natta ore ga subete o jurin surumade. I did not watch this. Isekai Shikaku. I watched the first episode of this. This is about Osamu Dazai. It's the Osamu Dazai isekai, where he gets pulled in, like, which is funny because he wrote an isekai um, uh, himself. But this is him getting an isekai where he ends up in another world where it's like much more of what our sense of what an isekai is. He is just very like he just wants to die. That's what makes this a comedy. And I don't know. I watched the first episode and I was like, I don't think I can. This one note joke, I don't think I will be enough to keep me riveted. Um, maybe other people saw layers to this that I didn't see, and that's fine. But it just was like, it's not. I don't think it's going to be for me, so I did not watch it. Isekai Suicide Squad, definitely didn't watch that. Isekai Yururi Kiko Kosodate Shiragara Bo Kensha Shimasu. Heather and I watched like a few episodes of this, and we were both like, done. Dropped it after 2 or 3, I think, maybe 4, maybe it was 3. We just kind of got like, when the point came in one of the episodes where all of a sudden our main character, who like we knew he was supposed to have new skills and stuff, but where all of a sudden he's like, I've got this cool sword, I can do all this amazing magic, I'm super goddamn powerful, like the 3rd episode. It was like, when did all that happen? I guess it did happen already, but the point I thought was he was supposed to be kind of guiding these two, but now he was like, I'm super powerful, and we're like, I think I know where this is kind of going to play out, and it didn't feel like it really sucked me in. So, and the more that I keep saying that about these kind of shows, the more I wonder overall where, like it's because I'm seeing the word junk food in chat. It's a good metaphor. There will always be a market for junk food, obviously, but it does make you wonder. It's like, at some point, are they going to start saying, why are we making, like, why are we taking, are there going to be studios that are like, there's maybe more, like, interesting, or, I mean, everything can't be free run, obviously, but it's like, I do wonder if there's going to be a point where it's like, we don't want to make the junk food anymore. Find us something that's more, it's like, the junk food is like, you sell millions of copies of this and they'll keep the studio alive. Oh, I guess. It is about money, right? Tower of God 2nd season, didn't watch the first or read any of that. Kimi to Boku no Saigo no Senjo, Arui wa Sekai ga Hajimaru Seisen season 2, didn't watch the first, I don't think. I don't remember, don't really care. Kirikuman Kanpeki Chojin Shisho Hen, I did not watch this. Koi wa Futago de Warikirenai. Almost said that correctly, Warikirenai. No. I think I watched the PV for this. You can see I didn't mark it for anything, and I was just like, I watched the PV for this, and I was like, I'm not interested in this story, this this unexpected love triangle next door. I was just like, okay. And so was not interested. Kono sekai wa hukanzen sugiru, which is also known as quality assurance in the another world. Doombringer is asking, do you speak and understand Japanese? I do not. I speak, well, I should say I speak so little that it's laughable. I read so little of it that it's barely useful. And but when Heather and I did go to Japan 10 years ago, I was able to get us around with very little difficulty. Because there's a lot of English signs. There's a lot of people who speak very basic English. And the very basic Japanese that I spoke was usually enough to get people, they would understand. If I'm asking them a question, they'd be like, oh, and they would take off. Oh, Doombringer, thank you. I pronounce it very nice. You watch enough stuff. They say that about immersion, right? If you want to get really good at, learning a language, immersing yourself in the language is a great way to do it. And you want to get really good at pronunciation. Saying being able to mimic a lot of that can help too. Anyway, this thing dropped it after 3 or 4. We dropped it after the episode where they go to they go back to the weird temple where 2 of his coworkers were stuck. The one who's like in the constant invincible dying, respawning kind of loop, in like every microsecond or some shit like that. We dropped after that. We're like, yeah, I don't think it really feels like it's leading up to a whole like he's gonna have to try to fool or battle all these other people. And it's like I don't know. So it just was like I don't really want to watch it. Dahlia in Bloom or Madogushi Dahlia wa Utsumu Kanai, which also is like the name of that's the name of the title of the last episode. This didn't have to be an isekai. It is. Hey, this woman dies in the first 10 seconds because she's a workaholic. She's reborn as a little girl, and her dad, he raises her to be a magical artisan, much like he is. And yeah, it was nice and sweet. It did not push forward far enough for our tastes. The romance thing is very funny because you think it's going to be a romance between, oh look, there's the female character, the male character, there must be a romance developing here. If it is, it wants to take its time, and that's fine. Fuck, I still read Snow White with the red hair. We're like, I don't know, I must be fucking chapter 700 by this point. And I don't think that they're ever going to tell each other that they like each other, even though I think they're pretty sure they did tell each other they liked each other. So whatever. It was ultimately in a ball. It was fine. It was like, this is nice. It doesn't feel too weird. It's kind of fun to watch her think of new things. She doesn't do it nearly enough. Yeah. But anyway. Moving on. Make heroin ga o sugiru. This is a very fun show. You've probably seen clips of it. If you go online, you look for PVs of this online, like Crunchyroll will have them or whomever else will have them or whatever. But even just the first episode was enough to like, the fact that it convinced Heather within like an episode was like, oh shit, yeah, okay, these girls are gonna be dumb. And it's like that. I mean, she didn't say that, but it's like that kind of, oh, they're gonna have some problems. Yeah, okay, they're making some dumb decisions. Yeah, that sounds great. The dude who's back here, Nukimizu, there's a lot that's kind of implied, and it gets heavier and heavier implied as the thing goes on, that he must have to end up with one of these 3 somehow. The fact is that these three girls were ultimately their love stories in high school get cut short in one way or another, and he ends up being around when it happens, and he because he is exposed to that when that happens, that he ends up being like the bridge for them to the kind of like approach and deal with those feelings, not because they like bounce onto him and they start dating him or anything like that. He's very main character disease, but it's very, I thought it was very fun, and for a light novel it is very self-aware. Like it knows that it's like, we know what light novels are like. Here, he's going to be a guy who likes to read light novels that are about all these kinds of things. And so this was meant to be a send up. I don't know if it's a deconstruction. I don't know if it's subversion. It is a bit of a send up of what the light novel thing is. And it is really nice actually to see what happens to the girls who don't have their love stories come true. And how do they work through it and where do they go with it? There's also a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of tell. And you gotta hope it's not Monogatari. But it is what it is. So yeah. Anyway, but I liked it. We had a good time watching it. Maogan Saikyo no Majutsushi Ningen Datta. Did not watch this. Mayanaka Punch. Okay, unless I say otherwise, show of the season. Big surprise. I thought this would be goofy fun, and it would just kind of be light and it is, except it's not light goofy fun. It's heavy goofy fun. Like it's like, no, let's get fucking going. This is like, this has the energy that you remember of the silliest parts of Sailor Moon or Ranma 1/2 or Urusei Yatsura, like this, of the really like rocket to 100 kind of like, we're going hard, lots of cartoony violence, just lots of crazy shit happening. They get that. This is so fun to watch. And then there's feelings, and it's fun too with all the feelings in it. And you're gonna be like, oh God, oh, but oh, these girls, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It like PA Works knocked this one out of the park. What a delivery. An original too, right? Like this is not a manga or a light novel or whatever. It's like, no, we're gonna do a thing, and you can tell that it's like we didn't have to adapt anything. We just had to make it feel like it was in the anime. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so fun. And on the YouTube channels, on the Japanese YouTube channel, I think Kadokawa's anime channel or whatever, they made YouTube videos that they would have been in. So basically, not all of the ones from the series themselves are I'm taking this off because they're getting warm. Not all the ones from the series themselves are have been made into YouTube videos, but the YouTube videos, like there are some YouTube videos that star all of them doing things. Like there's Ichiko's first errand, which is hilarious because she's a vampire and she's 110 years old, but they sell it as Ichiko's first errand, which is also very funny because naturally first errands are kind of the things where it's like, you're like, oh, they're going to screw that up somehow. And yes, that's what happens. And she screws it up in an amazing way. So if you want to get a feel for like kind of the comedy of the series, you could just watch the YouTube, the YouTube videos of this that are just their own YouTube videos. And they're very good. The opening's really good. Also, the ending song is a banger. Like I love it so much, which is real weird because it's not terribly special, but it is interesting. And I mean, I just even love the fact that in the song, there's a point where there's like a drop down from the top of the screen that's like a line message, and it's like, I think it starts with Liv being the one who says goodnight, and she posts an Oyasumi sticker. But throughout the show, each of them get a chance to post their own Oyasumi sticker in the ending, and I'm like, oh, I like that. That's really good. It does feel like two songs crammed together, but it is actually still really good. So anyway, moving on. Megami no Cafe Terrace, second season. Did not watch that. I can't believe that a thing that I thought I was gonna watch, that it's like now it's like, oh, this should have been on the watching list. Absolutely. So whatever. What you don't know, right? Mobukara Hajimaru Tansaku Eiyutan. Didn't watch this. I think just looking at this, it kind of felt like gonna be a harem show. I don't know, but I just was like not really interested. Nanare Hananare. Didn't watch this. I think just because I wasn't interested. It's PA Works. They've had really good track records, so probably good stuff. Anyway, Naze boku no sekai o dare mo oboete nai no ka? That ka caught me off guard. Didn't watch this. I have, if you have not noticed, if you're kind of new here watching this, my tastes tend to not run to action, adventure, sci-fi. Doesn't mean that they will never do that, but that tends to be that if that's basically, if the more capitalized English nouns that you see in a synopsis, the less likely I am going to watch it. Nier Automata got their second season. I didn't finish watching the first, and I kind of don't think I'm that interested, so I haven't gone back to watch it. Nigejozu no Wakagimi. Did not watch that. I think, is this the... Yeah, it's the Elusive Samurai. Thank you, Gekyoryu. I wasn't that interested in watching it. I have heard some good things about it. People have been quite impressed with it, so that's great. Yeah, I don't know. Normally I don't mind the whole oh, it's a period piece, right? I think I just wasn't in the mood for more Japanese history. So anyway, we'll move on. Is this an original piece, actually? Oh, it is. It's a manga. Okay. But yeah, I've heard that Elusive Samurai is quite good. It's quite good. Ore wa subete o parry suru gyaku kanchigai no sekai saikyo wa boukensha ni naritai. This is the I parry everything. Yes, thank you again, Kekyoru. It's funny because I kept when I kept hearing people talk about Elusive Samurai and I Parry Everything, I kept getting them crossed with each other, thinking that they were one or the other, but because there's always different ways to translate stuff. I was not interested in watching this. And again, you guys are saying it was really fun. I have heard that it's fun. I just was not interested in watching. That's okay. However, Ramen Akaneko. I feel like some of you out there probably were like, really? And you'd watch the first few minutes, you'd be like, oh shit, all that CG? Really? I did not expect there to be this to be a CG heavy show. I understand why it is, because it's probably a lot cheaper to put that together. For this might have never been picked up by a major studio. I've never heard of V&H production before. But it makes sense to me that if these guys are a smaller studio, they would have, it would be easier for them to do things via 3D animation. There are some points where I cannot tell that it is 3D. It feels like 2D animation. Granted, all done on a computer, but, it feels like 2D animation. And then there are moments where you're like, oh, that is what the model looks like if you were to pose it on a staircase, because we have the camera in a weird angle. That is what that model of a human would look like if they were talking to a cat in that way. And that's very weird, because if you had drawn that by hand, the pose or the position of the facial features or something would be different enough that it would not feel as weird as it does when you see oh, this is actually what a face looks like this, right? This is a lot of fun. The manga is incredible. It's so nice. It's so much fun. There's enough conflict in this to have a lot of fun. And I need to point out that Krishna is voiced by Yoru from Spy Family. which is what makes it all worthwhile. Like they picked great voices for everybody, I think. Like Bunzo's got a great voice, Hana's got a great voice, but just hearing Krishna, it's kind of like, oh yeah, they picked the perfect voice for Krishna. Absolutely. I hope this gets more someday. I don't think it will. However, there is a Diner Dash style game that'll be coming out before the end of the year for your phones, which I've already decided. I went and I did the pre-order where you can go into the app store and you can say, yeah, I want Ramanaka Neko, and just say get. They're like, yeah, it should come out before the end of the year. When it does, we'll just download it to your phone automatically. I'm like, yeah, give me that shit. I gotta see what this is like. The pictures look really fun, and there's a cat brushing segments, so I'm like, sure, why not? Let's see what happens. I did not watch Rick and Morty the anime. I watched the one episode Rick and Morty the anime thing they did like earlier. Um and I was like, that's interesting, but largely, yeah, I did not watch this. So it's still airing. All right. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know why. Like, I watch Rick and Morty. I like it. I think it is interesting and funny. I don't think you have to be particularly intelligent to understand it. I don't think that's ever been a thing, but it is. I do think it's interesting. I do like, when there's growth and all these other kind of things. And I think that the idea of Rick and Morty also suits it's what you would expect to get out of an anime series anyway. So, I'm like, I think the reason, like the fact that this exists, I'm like, makes sense to me. You would see that kind of thing. I didn't watch it. Sengoku Yoko Senma Kontonhen, did not watch that. Senpai Otoko no Ko. I have no idea. I didn't watch this. I don't know how well this managed to deal with anything, but I didn't watch it. Shinmai Osan Bokensha. Saikyo party ni shinu hodo kitaererate. No, that's wrong. Kitaerarete. 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 That is a hard one to tongue around that. Shinu hodo kitaerarete muteki ni naru. Didn't watch this. We move on. Shoshimin series. How to Become Ordinary. This had good theme songs. Now that Harmonized Melody brings up that Osan, the previous one, had a fun theme song. This had good theme songs, I thought. This show enjoys the God, I just saw a video about non-continuity in editing, where you will be doing a thing and then you'll do a cut and people will be in a different place, but they'll be continuing the same conversation. And this leans into that heavy. It's a very, very pretty show. It is a very interesting show. And yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really good. It was one of the, when episodes were out, Heather was like, let's watch it. Let's watch it. It is only 10 episodes, right? It is based on a novel. If it comes to an end at the end of it, then that's what it is. Roger Large Toad says, I'm still not sure if the ending of this one just kind of stops. It does. This is very, to me, what this was is we're going to build up who these two characters are. Then we're going to give them, a climactic moment in their relationship. And then we're going to saw off the ending of the thing. And it's like, that's it. That's what you get to see. I think that kind of makes it compelling in a way, that you're kind of left with, there's no sort of like, what is the ending of this supposed to, is it like good ending, bad ending, happily ever after, not happily ever after, what happens here? And it is interesting. So yeah, I liked it. All right, moving on. Shy, Tokyo Dakkan Hen. I did not resume watching Shy. I don't think I particularly am concerned about it. Yeah. Tasagare Outfocus. I did not watch this. Tasuketsu. Did not watch this. Tensui no Sakura Hime. Not only am I watching this, after like 3 episodes, I said to Heather, I'm like, I see where all the video game stuff hangs. Can I borrow your copy of Sakuna so I can play this? And I just played another hour of it today. I am near the end game. I'm basically just right now like making more rice in order to level up. And I don't need to, I don't think, but I'm just like, oh shit, I'm here and I'm doing it. I might as well max out all my weapons and like max out all my skills and, you know, just grow rice, grow, get more aroma, get more aroma. It's so hard to get aroma on your rice. Oh my God. I am surprised by, so the anime it hits the major points of what happens in the game if you've played it, but it sometimes puts them in different places and sometimes reimagines it in a way that so it happens either faster or in a more compressed way to be like, we're not going to like draw this out like the way it did in the game. So like some stuff happened in the anime and I was like, oh, but this happened in the anime. And then when I'm waiting for that to happen in the game, it's like, it's not happening. And all of a sudden, boom, like, it's like, okay, now it is, wait, that's not how it resolved. And then like more stuff happens later. And I'm like, oh, okay. I see now. I understand. Okay. So, I think this is very interesting. It's a lot of fun to be like, I'm playing a video game. And then like later in like that, you know, the next day or whatever, I'm watching a show where I hear all the voices of all the characters that I've been like basically just saying the same stock lines over and over, but now they're having conversations for real with each other, and it's like, it's very fun. So this has been fun for me. I didn't think I would like the game. Watching the anime made me want to try it. I'm not allowed to tell Heather anything about what happens in the game. I did tell her a couple things like, by the way, if they tell you to do X, don't do that because that's your point of no return. And she's like, okay. And I was like, I'm not going to tell you why that might happen. Just if they ask you to do X, don't do it. She's like, okay. So yeah, I'm not split saving either or save shuffling or anything like that. I'm kind of just writing over my previous game, which is maybe not a great idea, but whatever. Tokidoki bosotto rushago de dereru tonari no aria-san. I feel like I would watch this normally. Like it feels like a thing that's kind of like, oh, that seems like it's funny that he knows Russian and she knows Russian, but she doesn't know that he knows Russian. So she says all sorts of stuff about how much she likes him, but she only says them in Russian. I'm like, sure. And it's a light novel. I think with what's been going on in the world lately, that I'm kind of not interested in hearing, in having, you know, like, in having sympathetic Russian characters right now. It's kind of grates on my fucking soul a little bit. So I know not all Russian people, obviously, but it was just like, I don't, hurts. So we'll move on. Tsui to Tsurugi no Wistoria. Didn't watch that either. VTuber なんだが配信切り忘れたら伝説になってた. I think VTubers are very interesting. I did think it was interesting to see a thing like, oh, what happens if you forget to end your streaming? You just basically change your entire attitude overnight. But I guess I just didn't really want to. So yeah, didn't watch it. We're into the shorts now. Probably don't think I watched any shorts actually this season. So Zero Saiji Start Dash Monogatari, nope. Boken Tairigu Anya Kingdom, Densetsu no Guardian Hand, didn't watch that. Egumi Legacy. I love shorts are always the wildest looking things, right? Like you're like, okay, what and what? Didn't watch that. Elf Sanwa Yaserarenai. I read this manga. I watched the first episode and fucking threw it away. I'm like, I can't deal. There's there's so, we talked about nut meat earlier, right? There's so much meat. Like there's titties all the time, and I'm like, I don't remember the manga having this much titty in it. And it's a little off-putting because it just seems like it's one thing if it's like, oh, look at the big boobs, they're all covered by whatever, or this kind of like, I'm wearing a bathing suit or whatever, or see me in my underwear. But it's just like, no, raw titty, and I'm like, oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. Also, it's like 4 in the afternoon, and my windows are open, and I think people in the other complex can see into my apartment on my big 65-inch TV with these giant titties. And I was like, okay, no, okay, stop, pull the curtains, finish the episode. Yeah, no, there's nothing here that I'm not interested in. Okay, we're cutting this out. So, like I say, smut is a for you thing. It doesn't have to be a for everyone in your complex, including your neighbors thing. So, anyway. Harimaware Koinu. Second season, did not watch the first. Didn't watch that either. Jochum. Oh, let's see here. Geo. Really? Not Joe. Geochum. Jocham. Not gonna bother. It's for the Japanese boy band jerk off instructions. Great. Anyway, wait, is that a 1? Oh, it's a 1. It's not an I. Whatever. Katsute maho shoujo to aku wa tekitai shitaita. Yeah. No. Wait. I think I looked up what this was because I think I might have watched the first episode and was like, I'm actually not interested in this. Threw it away. I might just even, can I take that off the list? Sure, why not? Marui Kanojo to Zannen ni Nakarashi. I did not watch that. Mirai no Kuromakuke Akuyakurejo. Oh, it's a villainous thing. Moriarty. Oh, fuck. No Isekai Kanzen Hanzai Kakusho. Not interested in any of that. Naoe-kun wa Yasasatai. Yeah. No, not interested. Yamishibai 13. They're going to probably make this till the end of time. Leftovers. Bunha 7. Nope. Karasu. Nope. Yeah. Spice and Wolf. Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf. We are a few episodes away from finishing it. I think we're like 1 or 2. So... it has been fine. It has been fun to watch. There's a lot of what has been hard for me, what hasn't excited me about watching the Spice and Wolf, because it has been good, but it feels like, much like the previous version of this, I don't like the tension that this is, because it always feels very life or death. Like the tension always feels like some terrible, terrible thing is going to happen. And the resolution of it is going to be life-changing. And that's maybe more fun in a book where you're like, I'll read this until I get tired and pass out. In an anime where you have to wait from week to week, it's a little more difficult for me to take. So that tells me a lot about how I consume media. It has been good. It maybe is a little more like I would enjoy saving up a few and then watching to the end. I think if we're on 23, that means that 24 and 25 are left. Heather and I will probably watch the last 2 in the next couple of days. We'll get to see how this whole thing wraps up. And I know there's way more going on, but we get to see how this piece of it wraps up. Shadow vs. Flame Arc Ken, didn't watch that. Tensei Shitara Slime Ken 3rd season, I didn't watch that. Zafaburu. Yeah. Didn't expect this to get as long as it did. I just watched the last episode today. I really enjoyed this. I know there's like a live action movie. I'm assuming they just basically take a chunk of whatever. Maybe they take a chunk from like part of the manga that didn't get adapted. Maybe they did take just like the first 13 episodes and kind of adapt that into a live action. I don't know. This had been a lot of fun for me. I really enjoyed this. The tension from this sometimes was like, oh no, like it gets real, like gets serious. And for being a comedy, yeah, that it does kind of it earns its thriller tag as well. I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun watching it. Yozakura-san Chi no Daisaksen, did not watch that. Bakeneko Hanzu-chan, didn't watch that. Bochi the Rock Riri. I've already seen Bochi the Rock, so I didn't really want to watch the compilation films, so I did not. Bunha movie, nope. Crayon Shinchan Oratachi no Kyoryu Nikki, didn't watch that. Garden of Remembrance, didn't watch that. I'm not sure. Oh, it came out August 30th. Okay. I like a good science saru. Ian has definitely turned me on to what they do. Maybe at some point I will get a chance to watch it. We'll see. It's a music thing, but it's about being sad about getting old, I guess. Given Umi E, didn't watch that. Kimi no Ito, I marked this. Um, haven't watched it. King of Prism, didn't watch that. Love Live, didn't watch that. Mononoke Karakasa, didn't watch that. Overlord Seo Kokuhen. Simpri, didn't watch any of those. Token Ranbukai, Wonderful Puricure, Zega Pain, didn't watch any of those. Atashinchi next. They count this as an OVA, eh? That's interesting. I guess maybe it's just being released. Oh, there's a TV broadcast of it. Interesting. So, my wife has no emotion. Boku no tsuma wa kanjo ga nai. I like the wow. Hey Wheeler, thanks for the raid and welcome everybody here for enjoying. Stick around for 3 minutes. I dare you. I won't go on break right away. So my wife has no emotion. I've been reading the manga. I really like it. The there is a little joke that they drop in the anime, which is really nice. That they show they go see a movie, but the movie is actually the crux of the plot, the characters, whatever you want to call it. The movie is about this guy's other manga that he draws. And in fact, those characters from the other manga do show up in this manga as well. So it's all one universe. It's very interesting. They're aliens and stuff, but it's whatever. This is really interesting because I think it's like, it's not fetish fuel for one thing. I think it is definitely geared towards people who are like, but what if I could have like a robot wife or a robot husband, or just or robot kids, or like just live with robots in my house and we would all get along and have a fun time. And how it approaches it and what it does, especially to kind of make it even more complicated, is that he purchases a secondhand. So he goes to like a secondhand store and buys this model of Mina-chan, and all she is allowed to do is cook. She's not allowed to clean, or else you have to pay for the upgrades from the company. And she has no emotion, right? She can't smile, she can't move the things. She can blink, I think, but she can't move any of the things on her face. It's just like a smooth, flat surface, essentially. But she can communicate way more than you would expect, and that makes her special, and nobody's really sure why that she is way beyond that. And there's a lot going on about, like, he falls in love with her and, says, I want you to be my wife. And there's a lot of this very good, like, you're supposed to be interested in this, I think, because what you're trying to see is how Mina grows. And I mean, also you get to see how Mamoru, who's this one here, you get to see how Mamoru grows as well, but you're doing this to see also how Mina grows and how she's changing, and what does that mean? Because she's not supposed to be the kind of robot who can do this. And there's a super Mina-chan. There's a version of her that's like a big upgrade. has soft skin, can smile, can like laugh and like show simulate emotions, but show emotions, like all these kind of things. It's like you, and even then, it's like it's unclear. Of like, are they simulating it so it's like they don't actually feel, or is it like Data from Star Trek where it's like he gets an emotion chip and now he actually can process and understand, and therefore it is like having feelings, like they are feelings for him, and they're that's how it comes out. And so there's a lot of hand wavy shit that goes on to be like, well, this is the technologies are in this way, and um and yeah, I really like it's a very sweet manga because it's and the show itself is also, I think, very sweet too, and it's funny and it's fun. It is a comedy, obviously, but there is a lot of that. Like the manga gets way more into the rest of the world building as well. About there's people who don't like that there's these human shaped robots walking around, and they would like to get rid of them. And so uh, there's a lot of fear and a lot of prejudice there too. And yeah, I really thought this was cool, and it's interesting to see because it is like building this human man is Takuma. He's building a family for himself out of robots, but it also doesn't feel like he's building the family for himself. He's building a family with the person he loves and their new weird little child thing as well, and they are building this family together. That it feels like it is a collaborative effort. It isn't just like I come home and now they kind of snap into action and they are my family. It's like no, it really does feel like this is a collaborative thing, which is what families are, right? I really like it, and I'm glad they adapted it. I don't know if everybody gets the same thing out of it as I do, but I really enjoy it. Code Geass, um, Dakan no Rose, didn't watch that. Dead Dead Demons, Dead Dead Destruction, Dead 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 Destruction. Sorry, I always miss one. Dead Dead Destruction. I did not watch this. This is supposed to be amazing. It the manga is supposed to be amazing. Like I think you can. I don't know where you find this. This is like Crunchyroll. I have heard the manga is astounding. People really like this. Um, I don't know why, but I always liken it in my head to Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, Hoshino Samidare. I've never read this, but because the two of them got kind of linked in my head, that I haven't approached this. I know Ian's watched this and he's enjoyed it, or at least he's been reading it and he enjoys it. And he's like, "You should." And I'm like, "I will hopefully get my brain around to that point someday." But it really feels like because I tried so hard to enjoy Hoshino Samidare and I could not. And I feel like, is this going to be another one of these things where I try to put some time? And so when the anime came out, I was like, maybe I'll just watch the anime and that'll give me enough. And if I'm like, oh, wait, no, is the manga even better? Yes. Well, then I'll just stop watching this and read the manga. But I haven't cracked that yet. So anyway, move on. Fate Grand Order, whatever. Nope. Gotobun no Hanayome start. Nope, didn't. Not interested in that. Gotchard short anime. Gotcha anime. Furasuko ko Nanafushigi o Gotcha Seyo. Nope. But hey, Kamen Rider Gotchard. If you have that app. Draw feet, you cowards. Hibike Euphonium 3 got extra episodes. Okay. Kingan Ashita Season 2 Part 2. Sure. Kimi ni Toroke 3rd season. I was waiting for August 1st. And that just kind of blew by. I'm a little upset that I'm seeing for the first time that it's 5 episodes. Because based on the ending of the second season, I don't think 5 is enough to finish it. I don't know. I'm going to try to remember to say to Heather, we got to go check our Netflix account to see if this actually got its 5 episodes and if we could sit down and watch those. Because, they're each an hour long? Thank Christ. Oh my God. So yeah, I guess that maybe is what we'll do is we'll put in some time to watch the end of the season because would really like to do that. Koneko no Chi Pon Pon Ra Natsu Yasumi. I did not watch that. Luni-chan to Tanjobiya-san. Tanjobiya-san, no. Midnight Vampire looks very funny. Or not funny, I mean, but looks very interesting. Kind of unusual and stuff. So there you go. Monogatari series Off and Monster season. All right, there you go. Sequel to the final season, right? Yeah, that's what happens. Is just we do sequels to the finals of sequels. So, and half episodes too. Anyway, more Monogatari. If you're the thing, Pihotek Hokkyoku o Kaze to Aruku. Picture book written by Arctic Venture Yasunaga Ogita, illustrated by that Turner, short animation. Entire film can be enjoyed in 2 minutes. All right, well, I watch that maybe. Rising Impact. Wasn't interested in more golf. Didn't watch that. Hey, show of hands. Who was let the fuck down? Just pop those hand emojis in chat if you feel the same way. I think I made it to the 3rd episode. Boy, I know there are people who's like, if you get past the 4th episode, you get past the 5th episode, you know, if you just make yourself watch it all, you'll actually see what's going on and you'll have enjoyed it and like those kind of things. I'm like, and I'm like, yeah. I think I talked about this before at some point because maybe it was in the last one where I was like, I've already watched an episode or two, and holy shit, this is not what this ain't it, Chief. And it's weird because I'm like, am I the problem? No, it's the children who are wrong, and that's the thing is that thank you, Defrost. I just wanted a slightly worse Pop Team epic, and that did not meet the bar. And I'm like, there is kind of like my expectation, because I saw somebody post a video about it, was like, oh man, you wouldn't believe all the references. Yeah, you know what? I would fucking believe all of the references to other stuff that this show makes. Why? Because so many comedy anime, like really good ones, really bad ones, but they all do it. They all refer back to other things and they want to make fun of stuff and they'll do things in different ways. It's like, it is the kind of thing that when I see a reference to something, I'm like, ah! You know, like that kind of moment. That, like, Pop Team Epic is the kind of thing where you're like, oh shit, that made an impact. Like either reading it or watching it, you're like, there was a lot of stuff here. It's very dense, and the show like the characters don't care about you because the show doesn't care about you. And I'm like, I can get with that attitude. I kind of like it. The like Dadaist humor can be very, very funny. And I do like the kind of, here's an unexpected thing that is happening, right? Like, but Nichijou does that so much better. It really, like, Nichijou is so good at, here's an unexpected thing that's going to happen. The characters will do the whole, like the reaction faces and the weird shit, and everything rubber bands back to normal because that's how it's supposed to work, right? It's like any other kind of, you know, episodic show of any type, that everything has to rubber band back to the way it was. So there can't be much growth because you have to have, the Simpsons have to be around for 30 seasons in order to have wacky adventures, right? Yeah, Simriel says, I love Nichijou. I love Nichijou so much. Watching Azumanga Daioh and then finding out, oh, they're doing a new, like, you know, Kyoani's doing a new thing called Nichijou. It's like, what's that going to be about? And I'm just like, oh, that was, what is it about? But it is really good. And I wish, that's one of my, like, if I ever win the lottery, there's several things that I would want to do. And not the top of the list, like way, way down the list. But one of the things I would want to do is just be like, find me someone who speaks Japanese and get me on a plane to go over with them. And I need to sit down to be like, what would it take for you to do another like 2, 3, 4 cour of this? Like put your team on it. What would it cost? because I'll do it. If I've got the money and I can do it, I will do it. So, yeah. And this ain't it. It's we wanted it to be it. I think the problem with this, I was holding off on that rather large toad because we will get to that. I think the problem with Shika Noko 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 Koshtantan, I think the problem with it is that it feels, where humans are weird, right? It feels obvious. Like it feels too obvious. That's my problem. It is trying so hard, and we are very like, we are attuned to like not liking tryhards, right? And there are points of the show, like the bits that I watched, there were points where I was like, oh, that is funny, or that is really good. But then there are points where I'm like, I feel like I'm waiting for the next thing to happen. And then it happens and I'm like, that was it. That was the thing that was supposed to happen to kind of make a thing happen. And I don't know why, like I thought I would enjoy the idea of this girl who is like a delinquent, but she's trying to be perfect, and now all these other people are coming into her life and they're fucking up her whole life, and the only thing she can do is stand around and scream at all of them over and over and over again, and everyone else is completely blind and oblivious to the fact that that's what's happening. I'm like, I don't know why that doesn't work for me. I can't define why it can't work for me, but it really does feel like I got all excited about it, and I was like, it just really doesn't feel like, it really doesn't feel like it works as well as I want it to. So I'm glad people have enjoyed it. Like if they've watched more of it and be like, oh no, I have found some things to like about it. It's like, great, because we're always going to have these different feelings about media. But this is one of these ones where we all felt, I think like a lot of us were like, oh shit, balls to the wall, madcap comedy, holy shit. We were all looking forward to that. And then this came out and it's like, but it wasn't what it sold itself as. So we'll move on. Terminator Zero, didn't watch it. TP Bon, Time Patrol Bon, is on Netflix. Yeah, and I didn't watch it, but it was just kind of like, I don't know. It feels like the kind of thing where it's like, I know Ian has said this in the past about stuff too, like where he's been like, I think this might be an important show because this might be based on an important manga. This might be a thing that makes an impact. This might be a thing that matters to somebody. And therefore it's important to know it because it's like reading the classics, right? It's like if you taking Shakespeare in high school can be important as long as what you are giving students to chew on in high school is a way of understanding the ideas of those things, so that as they move on and they get out of high school, it's like all the stuff they were chewing on in high school eventually turns into a meal, right? And whether you go to college or university or a vocational school, or you go to work or whatever, those things, if you have been chewing on them, all that chewing at least leads to like formation of a philosophy or like some ideas. And so a lot of works of literature, or even these days we come around really good TV, right, and really good movies. And it's like works of art are supposed to influence those things, make you feel a certain way, draw something out. And so when I see this, I'm like, this feels like this is supposed to be a thing from a long time ago, that therefore they're making it now. And that must be because it had an impact on somebody's life who works at Bones or who works wherever, some rich asshole with $20 million who's like, I will pay you to make this. So please make this. Could be that. Yamato yo Toani Rebel 3199, did not watch that. Yozakura Sanchi no Mini Saksen, the mini episodes to go with that thing that I didn't watch. And Yurocamp Season OVA. These are the OVAs that go with Yurocamp Season 3. I thought I tracked them down. I cannot remember. I got to go looking again. Cool. So, fall's coming up. We're going to take a break. You guys sit tight. I will be back in a few minutes. This is your opportunity to also take a break. And yeah, just sit tight and enjoy the commercials because that's all you really have to do right now. And we're back again. Sorry, Jesus. If only I had needed to cough before I needed to cough. Right. So it was because we finished with summer, which is pumpkin pie. Now we move on to the fall, which is cherry pie season. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? When you think of this time of year, you always think cherry pie. Mm. Oh, what's that, chat? What's my favorite type of pie? Cake. Mm. Strictly speaking, free pie is my favorite type of pie. And that chicken pot pie, there were some slices left, and I did have a slice of that, and it was choice. Happy to have that. You cannot have a chicken pot cake. Hmm. Is there a type of you know, what type of savory cakes are there? Urinal cake. This is all pie leftover from the live. And if you did not watch it, it is on YouTube. Please feel free to watch it. I have no idea if it's going to if it's going to cause a copyright problem for us or not. Not really that. Always a little concerned, but like, I think we might. I think we might live. Gonna continue to eat this pie rather than be on break. Every cake with chicken eggs is a chicken cake. Good point. I like that, Akatana. Sorry, a Kayatana. I always see it the wrong way, but a Kayatana is what it is, and I should get it right. Oh, chicken meatloaf is kind of a chicken pot cake. Hmm. Heather and I were talking about shepherd's pie the other day, um, which in itself almost feels like a cake. Um, and she said something to me that it never really occurred to me. She's like, shepherd's pie is a food that you cook once, so then you can put it all together and cook it again. And I was like, oh yeah. I mean, I guess you could try to cook it all like just as a dump everything in the casserole and put it in the oven and like hope to hell that it's gonna work. It wouldn't though, because you can't. How do you mash the potatoes unless you like use instant mashed potatoes and you like whip that shit together in a bowl and then you just dump that on top. Um, I don't know. I don't know. So I haven't even looked at what's coming up next season, but it is still 2024. That's right. So I should address this now. I forgot who brought it up. I apologize. You did bring it up though, and point out to me who it is who did it. If you liked Nichijou, well, you'll be you'll be pleased to know that Arawi Keiichi. There we go. Rather large toad mentioned. City, City, which is the other work by Arawi Sensei, however you want to look at that. The guy who did Nichijou, and Kyoani's doing it. So there's clearly a good relationship there if they're picking up another thing. It might even have been that it was like, hey, we want to do more Nichijou, and they're like, it's maybe had its time, but how do you feel about doing my new work, which is City, which is also super weird and weirdly interconnected. Like, there's more characters, there's weirder connections and stuff, and it's coming in 2025. So God help us. I cannot wait to see it. I hope it's going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. Another funny thing, too, is that Arawi has a YouTube channel with tiny animations and music and stuff on it. And if you do happen to find the YouTube channel, there's all sorts of little Nichijou related animations and other things too. I'm subscribed to it, so I get little bits of stuff every so often. I don't really watch all of them. I'm really just looking for, like, the ones that remind me of Nichijou. But yeah, that's out there. You can find that on YouTube. Yeah, I think you have to look up, if you look up his name in Japanese, obviously copy the whatever. It might just be in hiragana actually too, but copy that into YouTube and it should find it for you. So anyway, let's talk about what is coming up next season, because I need to know. Acro Trip. Chizuko, who lives in Sakai City, Niigata Prefecture, is an otaku girl who's a big fan of the magical girl Berry Blossom, who protects the city against the evil organization Fossa Magna. Real life magical girl here. Okay. However, nobody was worried about the battle of the two anymore because Chroma, the wicked evil villain, was too lazy and weak. So Chizuko decided, I wanted to make my magical girl shine more. That desire leads the shy high school student down a strange evil path. Okay. I love this girl so much, I need to become her archenemy. Okay. I'm going to mention this to Heather because she likes a good Maho Shoujo. I don't think this is my thing, so whatever. But we're going to move on. Amagami-san Chi no Enmusubi. Uryu Kamihate is a high school student striving to enter Kyodai's medical school. After being raised in an orphanage, Uryu is taken in by the chief priest of Amagami Shrine, where he begins to live as a freeloader and to cohabitate. Because it's not cohabit, it's cohabitate. It drives me up the wall when I see people use the word orientate when they mean orient, like to orient yourself in a direction. But I know that apparently in UK usage, you can orientate yourself, because I know orientation is a thing that you can do to get somebody familiar with what's going on. But I'm like, I don't think orientate and orientation, I don't know if those are like, because to orient yourself in a direction, right? To acquire direction and to orientate yourself. And I'm like, if orientate is supposed to be like related to orienteering as like Finan mentions, then maybe that is how that works. But it really feels weird because there's lots of words like that we will like to. Oh, I gifted. I gifted this to somebody. Still feels weird to me. You also should not be saying on accident. That is a goddamn war crime. That's terrible because there are actual war crimes out there, but you should not say on accident. That's miserable English. I don't like it at all. It is on purpose and by accident. There are very few hills that I'm willing to die on for linguistics because I'm not a linguistics person. And I can't be that kind of like, it's like, but I want to be accepting of all the different ways that we do things in English because they're great. But God damn it, when I hear on purpose because someone was like, oh, well, and they're like on purpose and on accident. Like, well, you say on purpose, you must also have to say on accident. And I'm kind of like, no, I don't think you do. Anyway. Say by purpose, Gekyoru, do it. I would prefer that. If you say on accident and by purpose, I would prefer that. Do that instead. Let people see how stupid it all sounds. Why not? Anyway, he wants to cohabitate. If that's even correct now, I don't know. Shit. With Yai, Yuna, and Asahi, the three beautiful Shrine Maiden sisters. Wow, what a lucky dude. What's more, the condition he must meet in order to live at the shrine for free with the farmer's daughters is to marry into the family and inherit the shrine. Holy shit, how will this hot, handsome blonde book-eating bastard overcome his marriage meetings with the three sisters. Definitely does not want to marry anybody cute or be in a relationship with anybody. Why would he want that at all? He wants to go to Kyodai's medical school, as well as the many challenges that Amagami Shrine faces. So begins a miraculous rom-com about living under the same roof with three hot babes. Oh my fuck! I don't know what we do about this here, folks. I don't think I'm going to watch it. But if this is your jam, please enjoy it. I had a lot of fun making fun of it, but if you like it, great, because I also like stupid shit. Aono Exorcist, I never watched Aono Exorcist, so we'll move on. Aono Hako. Interesting title. A hako is a box, is it not? That's why they're doing the thing. Do these sports cross lovers have a chance? Knock, knock, knock. Taiki Inomata loves badminton, but he has a long way to go before he can reach nationals. Oh shit, it's always nationals. Oh my god. When Taiki sees upperclassman Chinatsukano practicing her heart out on the girls' basketball team, he falls for her hard. Good for him. After an unexpected turn of events brings the two closer together, sports might not be the first thing on their minds anymore. Oh no, they're never going to go to nationals. Never going to go to nationals, folks. Holy shit. I should eat cherry pie at night more. It makes me real goofy. Must be interacting with my medication funny. I'm intrigued at the idea of a sports anime romance thing. That sounds pretty cool. I'm also really into the idea that their school outfits are practically the same. This is so good. He wears a blazer, she wears a blazer, right? She doesn't have, boobs out to here. She's in a tiny short skirt. Maybe I can't really see the skirts from down here, but I'm like, huh. This might feel a little more like fun high school romance. Huh. That's cool. I don't know if I'm into it or not, but I'll put it on the maybe watching list. We'll see what happens. Oh no, Miburo. Probably lots of blue here. I don't know if I'm going to get into this. Let's see here. It's a drama. 1863, the twilight of the shogunate. And Japan is on the cusp of monumental change. The streets of the nation's capital are soaked in blood. As political upheaval and rising tensions between masterless wandering ronin and government samurai set the... Oh, it's Gintama. Okay, yeah. Set the stage for one of the most turbulent times in Japan's history. Young orphan Neo is no stranger to... Is no stranger to the harsh realities of the world, and yet he can't help but cling to his burning passion for justice and desire to change the world for the better. One day he crosses paths with two men who will become central figures in the coming revolution, Hichikata Toshizo and Okita Soji. I know both of them. Okita carries a bazooka. Two of the founding members of a group of hated ronin known as the Miburo, who would later become known as the Shinsengumi. Inspired by the so-called Blue Wolves of Mibu, Neo decides to join the ranks to help carve a path to the world he wishes to see, but with new betrayals and reversals every day, will Neo be able to stay true to his conscience? I don't know. Good luck with that. Arifureto Shokugyo de Sekai Saikyo. I'll wash my mouth again. Demon Titty Buddy lives in the cool castle. I didn't watch this. I don't know what this is. I'm not going to watch more of it. Bleach is inexplicably still happening. Blue Lock also, it's demon sports. Look at this dude here. My God, he just wants to tear your heart out. Or maybe these boys all kiss each other. I don't really know what's going on. Chikyu no undo ni tsuite. The setting is 15th century Poland. What even is anime anymore? Lick your plate, there's pie. It was a time where heretical ideas led those to try again. It was a time when heretical ideas lead those who possess such a mindset to being burned at the stakes for beliefs. I don't know how to diagram a sentence, and I won't even start now. The protagonist, Raphael, a child prodigy, is expected to major in theology, the most important subject at the time. I wonder why that is. At the university where he plans to skip a grade. That seems... okay. One day, however, he comes across a mysterious man and is now studying a possible truth in the midst of heretical thought. I don't find it particularly compelling from that synopsis. I feel like if you are a European history buff, you're probably really into this. This might be like one of those based on a true story type things. Also, the weird thing about that too, is anyone reading Fushigi no Kuni no Bird? Bird in the Mysterious Country. What's her name again? Elizabeth Bird. She's a rich lady, daughter of rich people, who hurt her back quite seriously when she was younger, and she could never get relief from it. And her doctor was like, "Oh, you know what would help you? Get up and move around. Go on some trips. Go see things. Go, travel the world. Do that. Stay busy. Your back will get better if you stay busy." So she did, and that helped a lot. Apparently, the constant movement around and seeing things and whatever helped quite a bit. There's a good. She wrote down everything in her diaries about all the adventures she had, and she went lots of places. And she did go to Japan, and there is a manga that goes over. It takes her diaries and adapts them. And what's interesting about it is that I'm pretty sure the manga actually even does this in the original Japanese, and so the translators are translating the bits. They're not like saying, "Oh, by the way, the manga says this, but what actually happened according to your diaries was this." I think the manga tells a story, and then in its own notes at the end, it's like, "But by the way, we adapted that, so this thing didn't actually happen this way, and here's a chunk of her, here's a chunk of what she wrote in Japanese." That she would have written in English, obviously, so we had to translate back to Japanese or whatever, or that we got from the translation of the book for our, whoever translated previously. But here's what her actual diary entry was, and then we made a chapter out of a bit of that. But it's a fantastic read because it is like, it is back at this time when, when Japan was like barely opened up, and the English are flooding in and trying to take control of freaking everything. It's quite the story. It's quite interesting. Anyway, if you're into history, then yes, this might be a thing that is very interesting to you. I don't know if I am interested in this. It's based on a manga. Could be really good. Dan Da Dan. This is a story about Momo, a high school girl who comes from a family of spirit mediums, and her classmate Okarun, an occult fanatic. After Momo rescues Okarun from being bullied, they begin talking. However, an argument ensues between them since Momo believes in ghosts but denies aliens exist, and Okarun believes in aliens but denies ghosts exist. To prove to each other what they believe in is real, Momo goes to an abandoned hospital where a UFO has been spotted, and Okarun goes to a tunnel rumored to be haunted. To their surprise, they each encounter overwhelming paranormal activities. Science Saru adaptation. I've seen a lot of promotion for this. Yeah, I've heard good things about Dan Da Dan in the same way I've heard good things about Destruction. And I'm like, I don't know if it's because of the or what it is, but yeah. So I don't know if I want to watch it or not. I think I'm going to let that sit at the back of my mind for a bit. I don't know. It's on Netflix and on Hulu, so you've got some places to watch it. So Dragon Ball Daima, all new series project for Dragon Ball. In the series, Goku, Vegeta, Bulma, and other characters throughout the series become younger than usual, different than similar plot than Dragon Ball GT anime, in which the title refers to Daima doesn't mean anything, could be interpreted as evil in English. Daima-o, maybe? Who knows? Whatever. It's Dragon Ball. If you like Dragon Ball, you might like that. I don't really know. Dungeon ni deai o motomeru no wa machigatte iru daroka v Hojo no Megami Hen. I haven't been watching any of the picking up girls in a dungeon. Please enjoy it if it's your jam. Gokon ni ittara onna ga inakatta Hanashi. College student Tokiwa gets invited to a mixer, a Gokon, by his female classmate Suo. When he arrives with his friends, they're greeted by three dazzlingly handsome men. But as the two groups get to know each other, they find themselves getting closer in unexpected ways. How I attended an all-guys mixer. I don't know what that's supposed to... Is it Shonen Ai? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Hayagakura. Nozomu wants to be a writer, but for now she's just trying to find the right story. Walking home from school, one day she bumps into some guys. I don't know which one's Nozomu. Anyway, bumps into some guys. Even though it's an accident, they hassle her until she is saved by a mysterious man. I guess his name is Ichiyo, and he's searching for gods. Nozomu sends him along his way, only to be approached by Tenko, who's searching for his master. Could be another pretty dude here, I don't know. Nozomu reunites Ichiyo and Tenko and their abusive relationship. Gets a view of another world. Two men are on a journey to find the gods. The world that was once supported by four evil gods has fallen to crisis. Using song and dance, it is up to the Kashikans to bring back the gods, which fled from their confinement. I'm not watching that. Hoshi Furu o Koku no Nina. Why does that sound so familiar? Nina, a girl living as an orphan in the fort in a castle town, happens to have eyes of the same deep blue hue as lapis lazuli, just like the god of the stars. They're also the same color as the eyes of the recently deceased Princess Alicia. For that reason, when the second princess of Fortuna, Azure, discovers Nina, he ordains that she will live as a princess in Alicia's place. Couldn't they called her Cerulean or something? As substitute princess and priestess of the stars, Nina is obligated to become the false bride of Set, the first prince of the large neighboring nation of Galgara, after the third month has passed. Despite being at the mercy of fate, Nina is just happy to feel needed by someone. What is it that her open, honest eyes see? What do your honest eyes see, Nina Less? At the destinies of all the players on the stage begin to move when they make up their minds to protect the ones they love. Okay. Kabushiki Gaisha Maji Lumiere. Another Maho Shoujo. Kana Sakuragi is an excellent candidate for the job. Any job. She's motivated and organized and has a fantastic memory. So why has she interviewed at over 15 companies without receiving a single offer? She's trying to keep a positive attitude, but it seems like her bad luck is only getting worse when a monster crashes her latest interview. As havoc ensues, she finds herself helping the magical girl who comes to the rescue and ends up with more than just her life in return. Meet the newest magical girl at Magilumiere Magical Girls, Inc. Oh, I see. Magilumiere... what is that already a series? Like, it's a manga, right? Was that already a series before and this is like a follow-up to it? Doesn't really seem clear that it is. Oh, my throat. I'll let Heather know there's a new thing. Kagaku Boken Survivoru. I don't know. It doesn't even know what it's supposed to be. Kamierabi God.app season 2. Didn't watch the first. Kamanohashi Ron no Kindan Suri second season. So, Heather and I watched all this first season, and in the last episode, we said nope, and we were done. We watched the whole season, and at the end of it, we're like, boy, how I certainly don't want to see the rest of this, and we're done. Because apparently, at some point, Sherlock Holmes fucked James Moriarty, and they gave birth to a bunch of kids who then eventually gave birth to a bunch of other kids, and then that's who all these people are. And like, don't care. Kekkon surute honto desu ka? 365 Days to the Wedding. Oh, this. By the same person who did The World God Only Knows. The World God Only Knows. I read all this. It's already done. I do like the kind of exclamation point and question mark thing they got going on here. That's pretty good. Taki and Rika are co-workers in a travel agency in Tokyo. They're both single, but they don't mind since they're introverts with fulfilling lives at home. For example, he has a cat that lives behind his TV. Never comes out. And she likes maps. Unfortunately, now their job is looking to staff an office in Irkutsk is what they actually say in the manga, so Siberia. I don't know why, but... And non-married employees are the first to be considered. They could have been like Korea, maybe, but whatever.
Rika is desperate to avoid the transfer and goes to Tokyo with an idea. If they pretend they're getting married in a year, they can stay in Tokyo. The only problem is the two of them barely know each other. If these two quiet coworkers fake a relationship, will it turn to something real? This is not Betteridge's law of headlines. Yes, we know that it's a romance. It's and the thing is, it's a fun series. It's interesting, and seeing how it's like, how it's kind of like drawn together. There's a couple twists in the series that I find interesting too. Um, like the like people in some people in their office finding out about what's actually going on. Like there's like things like that are going to happen, obviously, right? Or their parents finding out what's going on, or like all those kind of things. All those things happen because they're all supposed to happen in a series like this. This was, I think, kind of the um, it was riding the coattails of the whole what in 100 days the crocodile will turn over or whatever, like those kind of gimmick manga that were happening. That I'll just keep publishing this thing for 100 days and then the thing will happen, but I've already told you what's going to happen. So it's like the adventures of a thing until this happens. This is that kind of thing of like in 365 days we're getting married. So it's a countdown series, right? So yeah, it's it's a light romance. It's kind of fun, and you know me, I like to watch stuff that I've read that I've enjoyed, and I enjoyed this. It was not like it's good. It's not like top tier whatever for me, but it was good. It was entertaining, and I do want to see what the adaptation is like and see if I want to watch enough of it or not. And sometimes it is also just about putting things on the list that are nice, and then if Heather wants to watch them with me, that's what we do. Kimi wa Meido-sama. Okay, this is challenging. I dropped this, but I dropped this like 90 chapters in, it feels like. Anyway, maybe it's 60, I don't know. This is the Kimi wa Meido-sama. This is the story of a maid who is all alone in the world. A maid who is all alone in the world, but who finally finds a family. Told from young that her only worth is as a killer, Yuki has known nothing else except cold efficiency and following orders. Yuki wasn't even her name, by the way, when she shows up in the series. She didn't have a name at this point. Now that she has a chance to leave her past behind, she arrives at the doorstep of Hitoyoshi Yokoya, that's the kid, asking to be employed as a maid. Thus begins the journey of a former assassin learning what it means to be normal. Now this sounds like, and maybe it will end up being, at least as far as the 12 episodes? I'm going to assume 12 episodes. As far as the 12 episodes go, that might be a romance comedy slice of life. But let me tell you, whenever you have secret killers and stuff like that, there's always going to be that background that has to, at some point, can bleed into the story. And when it does, it goes on and on for chapters about this is now what we're talking about because it is important to her backstory. But I didn't give a shit about that part of it to begin with. But we got to deal with that. And there's a lot of like showdowns with other people who have found out that she's a maid now, but then they have to, and there's the killing. And I'm just like, yeah, this is not a rom-com cute kind of slice of life, Azumanga Daioh. This is not just that. I remember the early parts of the manga felt very like, oh, it's, she's getting used to being a maid, but she's kind of like, have no affect and I don't feel emotions and I don't really know what to do. But I got sent here because I was told by some person to be the maid of this boy who has no parents but is living by himself. And he is like in freaking middle school, I think, or elementary school or whatever it is. And I was like, yeah. And like I watched it, or rather I read it for a while and hit a point where I'm like, I think I've gotten everything I kind of want out of it, and I'm not really that interested in it anymore. So that was it. But I always watch things that I have read to see what the adaptation is like. Probably give this a couple episodes just to see what it is. At least a reacquaint me with the early parts of the story and see what charmed me about it in the first place, maybe. Kinoko Inu. Picture book author Hotaru Yuyami lost his beloved dog Hanako. He was in the depths of a dark and deep sadness regarding his inability to do anything about it. One day he notices a pink mushroom growing under the snow willow tree in his garden. As he gazes at it idly, it suddenly began to move, wagging its tail and coming closer to him. A mushroom dog? Despite his doubts, he decided to live with this mysterious creature, Kinoko Inu, mushroom dog. Then he started drawing where he wasn't supposed to draw, ate all the melon bread and takoyaki and made all sorts of messes, but his playful attitude is hard to hate. The days spent with Kinoko Inu involving his childhood friend Komako-chan, the editor, and Yara-kun of the Mushroom Research Institute gradually changes Hotaru's expression. This is a slightly mysterious and heartwarming animation that depicts the funny days of Hotaru and everyone together with Kinoko Inu, who is too mysterious in many ways. Fine. Sure, why not? I'm gonna... I'll watch it. Why not? We'll see what it's like. Love Live Superstar 3rd season. There you go, Love Live fans. More to chew on. Otsukai ni narenakatta onna no ko no hanashi. But not a Maho Shoujo. Okay. Kurumi Mirai is in the first year of high school. She's enrolled in junior high section of the Red Run Nerder Magic School, the world's only facility for mages that approved by International Mage League and able to work under royal families when graduates, and she was always top of the class. However, when she applies for the high school section and took the examination to get into a mage training class, Ma Gumi Mage class, she wasn't able to get in spite of having full scores and was top of the class for the whole 3 years. There are some students in the class next to her that takes the class. Among that, there's someone she admires how well Kurumi, Mirai, who has extraordinary brain, didn't get into being a mage candidate to try to overcome and grow up. What is the aim for Nanami Suzuki, the loyal mage who suddenly appears to be the homeroom teacher? This is a relaxing story of her growth. Enjoy it. Mao 2099. Oh, this is going to be like Batman Beyond, but it's going to be like the Demon Lord works at the McDonald's in 2099. The cyberpunk metropolis Shinjuku, a massive city-state bedecked with neon signs. So something happened here where Shinjuku decided to secede from the nation of Japan. We're all good with this, right? Great. Neon signs, towering skyscrapers, and latest cutting-edge technology. It is here in the year 2099 of the Fused era, where the legendary demon lord Veltal has his second coming 5 centuries in the making. But this landscape is nothing like the one he conquered all those years ago, for the fusion of magic and engineering has elevated civilization to dazzling, unprecedented heights. Veltal may have been reduced to a historical footnote, but make no mistake, this brave new world will be his for the taking. Okay. Mao-sama, retry! R. The Demon Lord continues. Is this the sequel to the previous? Okay. The Demon Lord continues his adventure in this revamped series after encountering the mysterious entity in the lowest level of the Bastille dungeon. He sets out for Hellion territory, where grand devils vie for the domination of the realm. With the addition of a new advisor, the seemingly hopeless Optimus Akane, the Demon Lord's army grows even more colorful and their hijinks even wackier. Mecha Ude TV. New anime project from Mecha Ude is a full-fledged anime series. It's an original. All right. Long ago, alien life forms came to Earth, fusing with people on the planet, like Parasite. Due to their appearance, they were dubbed Mecha Ude, as when fused, they bore a striking resemblance to mechanized limbs. Through an involuntary partnership, average middle schooler Hikaru Amatsuka works alongside the Mecha Ude Arma, who is an extremely rare and special existence. To protect Arma, the resistance group ARMS assigns the dual Mecha Ude. You know what? I'm not going to read the whole thing. This seems like this is for 10-year-olds. Maybe that shouldn't be a judgment, but I don't watch a lot of stuff for 10-year-olds. Maybe it's not, and maybe you'll really enjoy it. Do not take what I've just said to be like, you're doing it wrong. You're not. I'm not interested. MF Go 2nd season. Nagaki no Bore ha intai shitai. A lot of pink hair. 6 childhood friends make a vow one day to become treasure hunters and eventually grow to be the strongest heroes in the world. During his first quest, Cry Andre realizes he isn't cut out for the job. Even so, his friends make him their leader. Underpowered in the face of great expectations, Cry embarks on a reluctant hero's tale of glory headaches and wanting to retire early. Nanatsu no Taizai. More Nanatsu no Taizai. There you go. For people who like Mokushiroku no Yonkishi 2nd season, yes, there you go. Natsume Yujin Shoshichi. Motherfucker, yes! Oh, God. Finally! I'm up to 20 things. I'm like, I'm not watching anything this season. And it's more Natsume in this book of friends? Yes! Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, shit. Okay, I got to tell Heather. She's going to love this. If you haven't watched this, 7 seasons, and it's been like going on for like 15 years or longer or whatever. This is the good shit. So I'm excited about this. Awesome. Nega Pawsey Angler. The anime story centers on Tsunehiro Sasaki, a university student with a large debt, and is told by his doctor that he only has 2 years left to live, living the rest of his days in depression. Tsunehiro one day gets chased by a debt collector and falls into the sea. He is rescued by Hana, a girl who loves fishing, and her fishing friends, including Takaaki. Hana urges Tsunehiro to experience fishing for the first time in his life. He starts to develop friendship with other fishing enthusiasts. Things start looking up for Tsunehiro as he starts working at the convenience store where Hana and Takaaki work, and he slowly gets hooked into fishing. Okay. Got that nut. Yeah. All right. I've watched a couple of the fishing anime that came out. It was cute girls doing cute things kind of thing. I don't know if I want a drama for that. I will move on. It's an original, so that could be interesting. Not really my jam, I think, this season. Okaimono Panda. TV anime of Okaimono Panda to celebrate its 11th anniversary. All right. Kaimono is shopping, though, isn't it? So is it Shopping Panda? Did I get that right? Kaimono? Is that the Rakuten mascot? I guess it is. Gekyoru. I guess he's called Okaimono Panda. All right. More golf. Fuck. Oi Tonbo, second season. Hey, there you go. If you like the what? Party kara tsui ho tsareta sono chi yushi jitsu wa saikyo ni tsuki. The story follows Roust, a healer who can use only one basic spell and is expelled from a first-class party for only being able to use one basic spell. While the leader of that party realizes how great his abilities actually are because he can really use the fuck out of that basic spell. After hiring another healer, Roust finds new friends like Nasena, who support him in his rise to the top. Okay. Fantasy! Have fun. Puniru wa kawaii slime. Slime created by the boy Kotaro can transform a super beautiful girl. Kotaro is getting constantly punished, pushed around by Puniru's freewheeling antics, joyful, exciting life every day. Okay. Wild. Wow. Raise wa tannin ga ii. I think I was like, I see the word Yakuza here. I swear I read a chapter of this. Let's find out. Some Renji is Some Yoshino's grandfather and leader of the Some group, the Kansai region's biggest Yakuza group. When he arranges for her to be married to Miyama Kirishima, Yoshino has to move to Miyama Clan Estate, the Kanto region's biggest Yakuza group. Kirishima, yes, it sounds very familiar, warmly welcomes Yoshino as such a pleasant, personable, nice young man that nobody would suspect he comes from a Yakuza family. This puts Yoshino at ease, even though she was initially feeling insecure in this unfamiliar place. But then, a certain event leads to Yoshino witnessing the real Kirishima. Yes, I read a chapter of this. I did not care. I hope if you have read some of it or whatever, it's very much like, oh, we're both bad people and we're both jerks and we're both gonna try to be jerks, but then have to get married. But it's like, oh, but we have to see who each other is, and yeah, whatever. So I wasn't that interested. Right? Yes, I am gonna watch the new Ranma. I haven't been watching. I got to the more dramatic parts of Urusei Yatsura of the latest cour. Where they go back in time to discover who they married. Or no, wait, they go forward in time to discover who they married. And I was like, whatever, sure. Boy, I actually don't know if I want to watch the next few episodes because it sounds like they're really going to get into. But it's like serious. I'm like, but I want this to be goofy, but it will be. I'm psyching myself up. Mappa's doing this. Okay, so David Production is doing the Urusei Yatsura adaptation, and also, I just need to say that David Production has a really good logo. Like, I really like it. And their adaptation of Urusei Yatsura has been very, very pretty. Like, very bright and sparkly and fun and whatever. And I've seen the PVs for this, and Mappa's really leaning into kind of the more, like, we want it to be modern, but we also want it to feel softer in tone. Like, not the colors are all still there. Everything just feels like it's been dialed down. Even if you look at the image here, right, that it's like these aren't like bright red or dark red or whatever. It's like this kind of like toned down reds a little bit, and it's like there's more pinks and there's more like light blues and stuff. And I'm like, I really like. I mean, wow, blue, white, light pink. I wonder if we're being told something maybe, or if that's just all accidental. I don't really know, but I really like that. But yeah, the hues have been dialed down, or the saturation has been dialed down a little bit, I should say, and I like that. And I think this will be an interesting. It'll be 24 episodes probably, and I think that'll be a fun thing to watch. So I'm looking forward to actually getting to watch a big chunk of Ranma from one end to the other. I never did. I always saw it in fits and spurts from like whenever people were like showing it in places. I never actually got to watch the whole, not the whole thing, but you know, a chunk of it together. So anyway. ReZero, Kara Hajimeru Isekai Sekkatsu, third season. Didn't watch any ReZero ever. Rekishi ni Nokoru Akujo ni Naruzo. Me, the same girl. It's meh, probably. Meh. The same girl who hates all those prim and proper heroines got reincarnated as the villain in the world of my favorite fantasy dating sim. It's my dream come true, so I'm going to leave my mark in history by becoming the... Oh, wait, no, it is me. I got reincarnated as the villain in the world. I'm going to leave my mark in history, becoming the world's greatest villain. But to do that, I need to get a lot stronger and smarter. Just one problem. The harder I try to be evil, the harder the prince falls for me. At this rate, I will ever get to earn my place in history. Okay, you know what? I do like a good villainous anime. Maybe this isn't it. But we'll see. Yeah. Ah, wow. I'm not gonna watch the new Kenshin. We ended up not watching the new Kenshin. There's just something about not getting Kenshin's original voice that throws me off. I really liked Kenshin's original voice from the original series, so we didn't watch it. I'm not gonna watch this. And then part of me, well, I guess it's probably, I mean, it must still be entertaining or interesting to people today. I don't really know. Anyway, Saikyo no Shien Shoku Wajutsushi. Wajutsushi. Jutsu is a word. Why can't I say Wajutsushi is how you would say it. Dearu are wa Sekkai Saikyo clan o Shitagaeru. Noel has grown up idolizing his grandfather, a legendary adventurer of the class known as Seekers. When it comes time for Noel to set out on his own, much to his dismay, he turns out to be a talker, like me. A support class with meager abilities, oh, like me. But Noel's got ambition in spades and the smarts to match, so he's determined to do whatever it takes to make the world know his name. Hell yeah. Show him you can take over the world by talking. Sayonara Ryusei, konnichiwa jinsei. Goodbye dragon life. Hello man life? The gene maybe is from... Anyway, long ago, the most ancient of divine dragons was slain by a human. The mighty dragon accepted its death when suddenly it was reborn as Dolan. I can't watch this now. I can't take seriously. Oh, hey, Gooby. A man who lives in a quiet village. While spending another peaceful day toiling in the fields, he meets Selena, a half-human, half-snake creature looking for a partner. The unlikely duo become friends, but challenges lie ahead to threaten their new bond. Oh, piss. Anyway, moving on. Seirei Gensoki 2, didn't watch the first. Shangri-La Frontier, second season, didn't watch the first. Shin Tennis no Oji-sama, the U17 World Cup. Are these kids still under 17? Holy crap. All right, well, the sequel to the World Cup, that maybe it's a semifinal. It's going to take them years to play the whole damn sport. I guess this will give Ian something to watch. He likes Prince of Tennis. Sword Art Online Alternative, Gun Gale Online 2. Right, this is the alternative version. What if Sword Art Online wasn't Sword Art Online? It was Gun Gale Online 2. So anyway, Tensei Kizoku, Kante Skill de Nariagaru, second season. Didn't watch the first. Right? No, I did. Oh, shit, yes. I was like, he looks familiar. Oh, those look familiar. Yes, I did. Okay, maybe we're watching this. Heather and I weren't sure what to do about I have the appraisal scale, so let me get a cool group of people. I don't know if we're going to continue or not. I will ask her about it though, because I can largely take it or leave it. It was interesting, like the tail end when this woman shows up. All of a sudden, it got like real interesting real fast. That was like, oh, this has been kind of good. It's been kind of good. It's been kind of good. And then this, and it's like, oh yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. Oh yeah, 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 oh, no, 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 no. And then this woman shows up. I'm like, oh, something cool happened near the end of the season. That's kind of fun. But how much do I care about seeing this play its way out? Because we did kind of have a on again, off again feeling with it. So I don't know. I'll mark it as a maybe. We'll see. Idolmaster Shiny Colors second season. No. Thunderbolt Fantasy. Toriken. Yuki 4. No. Oh, well, I'm sold. Tono to Inu. You want to sell me with like, oh, this beautiful Bishonen with like sparkling blue eyes and ice blue hair, and he's the hottest thing around, and he might kiss some of those boys. Nope. Give me this. Put this in ancient Japan. I'll watch this 10 times out of 10. Let's see here. The story is set in Japan's Warrior State period. It follows Tono, a man who was once a fearful god on the battlefield but has fallen into poverty and is now living in a tenement house. Oh, that's sad. And a dog he picks up despite his inadequate daily life. Tono is pushed around by the dog who does not listen to him and spends his time freely and unrestrainedly. I will give this a try. Yeah, I think we will probably give this a try. Tohai Urarate Mahjong Tohai. Wait. Tohai Urarate Mahjong Tohai Roku. Yeah, we're gonna get that down. Urarate Mahjong Tohai Roku. The fact that Tohai is in like the short version and then it's also in the long version was a little distracting to me. Money, women, orgasms. K, a high school boy, frequents the underground mahjong parlor teeming with desires, earning him the moniker K of Ice in the underworld due to his cold-hearted strategy and stylish gameplay. Rumors also circulate he keeps a girl at his home. That's the psychological part. Sawa. Trillion game. Not even if you fucking paid me, I think. I don't like the look of this at all. Old schoolmates Haru and Gaku will do anything to achieve success, and success to them means earning $1 trillion. Dollars. $1,000 billion. I think about this sometimes. Where it's like, wow, $1 million. How do you do that? Well, it's easy. $100,000, right? You just need 10 of those. Oh, okay. Well, over the course of my lifetime, I'll probably earn that. That sounds about right. Great. But like 10 million. Well, okay. 10 of the 10 of the, so I need 100,000. Oh, no, I'm not going to have that happen. Okay. What about 100 million? Oh, you need like 1,000 of the 100,000s. 1,000 is a lot. Like, Jesus, okay. But yeah, like, okay, so $100 million is a lot of money. Yeah. Now, 1,000 million. We already said getting 1,000 of 100,000 is hard, but getting $1 million needs 10 of those things. So like 1,000 million is $1 billion. $1 billion. Think about how long it would take you to earn $1,000 million. And there's too many jackasses walking around with $1 billion worth of assets to their name. And it's just like, that is remarkable to think of. Now, let's say there's 1,000 of those people walking around with $1 billion of assets to their name. These two people here want 1,000 of those people, their full asset load. They want it all for themselves. So how would you even do that? Like, we want to make $1 trillion. Like, I can't, having to like, it's the creation of wealth on paper is the way that you end up creating that idea of I have this much money to my name, right? Nobody believes that Twitter is worth $40 billion or however many fucking whatever it's worth, right? It's like nobody believes that Twitter is worth that, even though it got paid for that. But the value on paper of that got paid for that means that then, therefore, it is supposed to be worth that because someone paid money for it. So, therefore, that is what it was worth. And it's like, there ain't no way, because there's no way you extract $40 billion worth of value out of that, or any platform on earth that you're like, we can make $40 billion worth of actual real ass money off of this. I'm like, you don't. You never do. Even the people paying to put ads up on the sites and all the other shit that goes on, it's just like, yeah, no. So anyway, they need to take full advantage of their own unique skills. Hadu is a persuasive and confident speaker and can connect with anyone, while Gaku, although awkward, is an expert programmer. Will their combined talents be enough to make their dream a reality? Now, Apple is worth, like, market cap is over $1 trillion at this point. And that's one of those faith things as well, right? It's like the value of what that company can turn over. And there's a few other $1 trillion companies now like that. And it's like, right. But it's not like Tim Cook owns that $1 trillion that Apple is worth, right? That he's like, that's my $1 trillion. It's like, no, that is the sum total of everything that they have, and then also the expectation for what that company will be able to create in terms of sellable materials going into the future. And that's even beyond like what the next iPhone will be. That'll be shit like, oh, they found a great way to make a brand new aluminum alloy that's going to change other parts of other industries, because now they've driven down the price of what it is to make that specific really good or fancy or useful aluminum alloy, right? We were talking about this the other day, Ian and I, on Tinker Tailor, where it's like the new iPhone 16, not the Pro apparently, as Ian tells me, new iPhone 16 has an adhesive in it. I don't think Apple invented this. I think they got it from another company. But it has an adhesive to hold the battery in place. A lot of your electronics are now all glued together. To loosen the adhesive, you used to have to kind of pry it and get a heat gun in there real fast, just like melt it just a little bit, but not like a lot, and like a lot of whatever. Now what you do is you plug the correct end of an alligator clip on one side, and then another alligator clip on the other side, and you touch them to the correct sides of a 9-volt battery for about like a minute or something like that, and the adhesive will electrically release, because that's how the adhesive works. It is electric. And it comes off like just clean. There's no residue. And then plus, if you go put it back and you connect it again, you can in reverse the polarity. It will reattach. And I don't know if Apple's created that. I doubt that they did. I'm sure they're buying it from a small company somewhere that has figured out how to make this thing. But the fact that like 30, 40 million phones just this year are probably going to end up with that in it means that you went from making an interesting idea for people that's like, oh, that's a cool thing, but where would you use that? It's like, and Apple's like, we know exactly where we'd use that, and we need 40 million of them. And all of a sudden, that thing that another company has created is now, the price has been driven down so much into manufacturing it, because they're like, we have to spool up being able to create it for Apple's phones and potentially a whole bunch of other companies, that now they have to make 40 million of those things. And that means that the economies of scale will drive down the price of each individual part, but they will still make a ton of money off of manufacturing it because they get to make so many of them, right? And it is that idea that kind of adding value back to the market, because a company that's big enough to be able to make that thing happen, it's like, it's just kind of this interesting idea that you can see that happen, right? That you can lend that value to other places and push other people who have interesting ideas forward, because you want to make use of their interesting idea for yourself as well. And I'm like, I do like when those kind of things happen. It's really interesting. I'm not going to watch this. Anyway, we'll move on. Tsuma Shogakusei ni Naru. Oh, shit. Oh, there's no way they're going to adapt this properly. Oh, no. I shouldn't be so down. I've read the whole thing. I'm watching it. Let's talk about what this is. The story follows Keisuke Niijima, who lost his beloved wife Takai 10 years ago, and their daughter Mai. Mai is now like 19, 20 years old, I think, maybe 22. Anyway, just give you a sense of how old they are. Like these people are now. They have been in a state of despair since Takai's death. One evening, an elementary school girl visits the Niijima family, claiming to be the reincarnation of Takai. At first, they don't believe her, but the girl continues to give them information that only the family knows. Keisuke and Mai soon recognize her as Takai, and the three of them begin to act together as a family. It's a comedy drama, and yeah, it is. And the romance part is interesting, too. This series is a lot, and it can be very dramatic. And I really liked it. So Gekyoryu says, what about her new parents? Takai didn't come to move in with them and live in their house. That's not what happens here. Takai just woke up in Marina's body. Marina is like, I think she's like six or seven by this point, but she just click, all of a sudden, voomp, that's there. Like she just is there. She wasn't born and was this girl. She just was kind of like something happened. Marina, all of a sudden, is Takai instead. Like Takai's ghost just came down from heaven and inhabited her. Kind of this idea, right? If I remember how this works. And this touches off a series of activities about, well, Marina lives at home with her mother, who isn't a great mom, isn't a terrible mom, but all of this stuff that is happening is like it's like I have to live at home with my mom. That's just, I can't just move in here. Because part of me was thinking, oh, this is gonna be one of these things where the mother turns out to be unfit, and then therefore they have to separate. And I'm telling you right now, that doesn't happen. It's way more complicated than that. And it ends up being, the manga ends up being sad and bittersweet and happy. And it's a lot. It's long and it's a lot. This isn't 36 chapters. This is a long story. And I enjoyed it, but also was like, oh, it's a lot. Oh, I don't know if I want to keep reading it or not. Oh, but I want to see how this all comes together and how it comes out. And then they're like, yeah, it's 10 more chapters left. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll see. And there's the philosophy, like philosophical ideas start to come into it more very, very late in the manga. Early on, it's more about trying to understand what's happening here. I don't plan on watching the whole thing. I don't think it's going to get anywhere near to giving you the end of the story. It's just going to set up what's going on and probably get us to a reasonably happy point to like say, and you should go read the manga, right? Like that kind of thing. Yeah, I like how it approached this idea too of my wife if my wife becomes an elementary school student or whatever it is, says there. And it's like, yeah, how do you approach that? And you do it in not like a lolicon kind of weird way thing. It's like, yeah, how do you come at this problem? How does it actually play out with what people who would be like real people? Feels more like what real people would be like. Not entirely, but you know. Uzumaki. Okay, 4-episode adaptation of Junji Ito manga. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We know that Kurozucho, a small fog-bound town on the coast of Japan, is cursed. I like Junji Ito's cats. I do not like the scary shit. So please enjoy this if this is your thing that you would like to enjoy. This looks interesting. Let's see if that's true or not. Yarinaoshi Reijo wa Ryute Heika o Koryakuchu. Jill breaks the rails. Jill breaks out of God. Hold on one second. Brief break. Thank you for allowing me a quick break. I'm having a bit of acid reflux and getting over the cough from when I got sick a few weeks ago. Is just kind of like, you know how it is, the cough hangs in there. So the more you talk, the more likely you are to. I have my fisherman's friends, so that's what you've been seeing me eat pretty much the whole time here, and that's been helping. But yeah, God, one of those things when you have acid reflux is like now at the back of my mind where I'm like, man, I hope I don't end up with GERD. But we'll see. Doesn't seem it's that bad. Right, so this is based on a light novel. Jill breaks out of prison the night before she's set to be executed by her fiance, Crown Prince Gerald. That's nice. She's struck by an arrow while escaping, but instead of dying, she's transported 6 years into the past to the night she and Gerald met. I literally saw 2 anime about this already. I think one was Tear Moon Empire. I can't remember. Desperate to alter fate, she instead proposes to the first man she sees, Hades Teos Rave, her enemy in the future. This is her last chance to get it right. Wait, shit, doesn't one of these, there was the other anime that literally does this. The one where she plays she has the 7 lives in a row, and then in the 7th one, she's like, oh, I've got a 7th time loop. Yeah, that literally, this is the same setup to that. Oh, my buddy James showed up. Hey, James. I should remind you guys, September is still happening too. Don't forget, if you haven't given away enough gift subs like you did on Loader Ready Live last night, you can do that still in packs of 5 or more. You can earn Twitch bonus subs. Twitch will give a gift sub, at least one, and they can even throw in more bonus subs and stuff too. So keep that in mind. And also, if you have Prime, you can use your Amazon Prime account. Has a Twitch Prime sub built into it. Feel free to resubscribe here or really anywhere else. Anyway, I don't think I'm gonna be involved with this. It's got a cute little white dragon thing. Maybe it's fun. I don't know. I mean, getting to go back 6 years in the past and then he still looks like he's in his 30s and she does not. So I don't know what's happening here. But anyway, we'll roll on. Yokai Gakko no Sensei Hajimemashita. Rookie teacher Haruaki Abe is as cowardly as they come. It's hard enough for him to handle human students without whimpering, and now he's going to be teaching at a school full of monsters? Nani? It's a classroom of horrors for Haruaki as his mischievous students use every means at their disposal to prank him. Will this poor teacher be able to get his group of ghouls under control, or is this class destined for failure? This looks like as far as supernatural comedy, yeah, all right, you know what? I'm going to put this in the list. We'll see how that plays out. Hybrid SUVs are so cheap now. That's a lot of seats. Holy crap. Wait. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, what? No. I mean, these chairs are even like leaning forward. This is AI generated. Bananya around the world. Bananya returns. The mysterious cat who lives inside of Bananya is back for a new adventure when a ball of light appears. So after the ball flashes, a new cat named Baby Sweet emerges. Two quickly become friends and set off on a grand adventure to discover new exciting places around the world. Join the new friends on their journey. Hamadashi Creative. A romance. Okay. On a visual novel. All right. It's the end of June and the summer seems to be locked in place. Tomohiro Izumi, they just seem like they're idols. Like this doesn't look like I go to school. They seem like they're idols. So I'm assuming it's an idol group. And they all look, it's very uncanny. They all have half dead eyes with the same faces and the same, oh shit, it's the same haircuts. Oh dear. Oh dear. Somebody likes a very particular type of girl. Tomohiro Izumi, recognized by himself and those around him as an introvert. Good. Is spending another. It's good to know who you are and for everybody else to know who you are. In spending another quiet day in his little corner of the classroom, or so he thought. Congratulations! You've been selected as our next student council president. The student council president lottery held in a spur of the moment by the academy. Period. Tomohiro manages to be the one randomly selected thanks to his ridiculous luck. Now the spotlight is suddenly upon him, and as a result, rumors begin to circulate with no way out. Oh, there's so much fucking story. Tomohiro relies on his advisor to start gathering allies he can rely on, but none of these candidates, his advisor suggests from his classmate Kano to his underclassmen Asumi and even his little sister Hiyori are even coming to the campus. Amidst all of this chaos, even the former president that no one could ever get a hold of, Shio, shows up. Is it fate or is it a foregone conclusion? The unheard of and unprecedented battles of the random lottery student council president are about to begin. Note, Hamadashi Creative is a crowdfunded anime project based on the visual novel of the same name. Okay, so a lot of people wanted to see this get made and definitely did not want there to be any boys in it, even though it sounds like there's a boy in it. But I guess I'm the boy. I'm in this anime. That's cool. They made an anime with me in it. Awesome. Hokago Shonen Hanako-kun 2. So, if you watched the first one, please enjoy the second one. Ah, hell yes! Oh, these are never long enough, though. Hyakusho Kizoku, second season. It's the second season of Hyakusho Kizoku. As soon as I rolled down and I saw the face, I was like, oh, you're back. I love you. I love you so much. You're great. I would kill for like more Silver Spoon. I've read all of Silver Spoon, but I'd like love to have more Silver Spoon as well. But yeah, this is just fun and darling. And what is the title for this again? The Royal Farmer, the Royal Peasant, the Noble Peasant. Yeah, these are fun. I like these a lot. It's not in the shorts category though, is it? So are these meant to be longer? I mean, it says the original was an OVA, but this is like, and the originals were like 12 minutes long. Anyway, moving on. Kankin Kuiki, level X. Ryoka is awakened by a flurry of text messages from her mother, panicked and rushed. Mom is clearly concerned for Ryoka's safety, but she is not too keen on letting her daughter know why. Her reasoning being that nothing could really properly describe what is happening. So it's not that you aren't keen on it, it's that you literally can't explain it. The world might be ending and there might be a massive new life form on the roof of their apartment building. You know, just Tokyo things. Mystery horror, I ain't gonna watch that. Kumarba, second season, no. Neko ni tensei shita oji-san. Oh, why does this sound familiar? Follows an ordinary old man who one day suddenly is reincarnated as a cute cat. The president of the company he works for picks him up. Right. That's why it sounds familiar. I've read this before. Yeah, and he acts all cute and stuff at times, and to entertain the president of the company. I don't know if they end up talking about what happens to, because he doesn't work at the company anymore. Shit, I don't know. I don't really care about this. But yeah, nah. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I am catching up on what you have been saying so far. I see Dr. Elise, the royal lady with the lamp. Dr. Elise was good. The double isekai, that was neat. All right, Puni Runez, Puni 2. No, not going to watch that. Shibuya Hachi Part 2. Not going to watch that. Sylvanian Families, Freya no Piece of Secret. Sequel to Freya no Gopher Dream. Not going to watch that. Leftovers. Right, they're still making this. You know what? I should just leave things in the list. I should be leaving them in the list if I said I was going to watch them and it turned out I'm not, but whatever. Sengoku Yoko, Senma Konton Hen. Nope. Sanjusai. Wow, I did that like so fast. Sanjusai made dote da to mahotsukai ni nareru rashi tokubetsu hen. So the 30-year-old virgin becomes a wizard. Some stuff. New content not in the anime. You know what that means. Titties. Anyway, Bang Dream It's Mago Haru no Hiramari Mayo and Neko. Another Bang Dream It's Mago Uta o Bokura ni Nareru Uta and Film Live. Again, more of that. Fureru. Fureru is a coming-of-age film set in present-day Tokyo centering on childhood friends who find a creature with mysterious powers that pushes them to discover the bonds that tie the three students together. Is the creature in this picture, is it this thing that we can't see? No, that's a rock. But there's this pink thing. Is that Kirby? I don't know. Huto Tante, Kamen Rider Skull no Shozo. What happened to Shotaro, Philip, and Sokichi Narumi on the night Kamen Rider W was born? Adaptation of Futopii Volume 6 was an extended version of the Begins Night chapter from the original live-action series. Kind of an interesting idea of getting to watch a Kamen Rider anime of sorts, but Ganbatte ikimashou. Show feet. A high school girl, Etsuko, just spends her days without any aims or purpose until one day Rina, a transfer student, asks her help to set up a boat club. Although Etsuko reluctantly accepts after hearing Rina speak passionately about her dreams, she gradually starts to embrace the club after spending time with her teammates. That sounds nice. Genjitsu no Yohane, Sunshine in the Mirror movie. No, I guess that's a Love Live related thing, I guess. All right. Gintama on theater. 2D Kintama Hen. Part of the theatrical cut of these 4 episodes. Inazuma 11, Aratanaru Eiyu Tachi no Josho. Inazuma 11. More Inazuma 11, so Shuhen. Densetsu no Kickoff. Nintama Rantaro. Dokutake Ninja Tai Saikyo no Gunshi. I don't. Pui Pui Molcar the movie. Molmax! Story begins with the emergence of the first high-tech Molcar in Mole City, with drivers beginning to ride state-of-the-art AI-driven Molcars. Potato and friends get involved in a chase between... Wait, okay, sorry. The Molcars are living beings, but people get inside them and can drive them around without them wanting to be driven around, but they will drive them around. They can drive themselves around all they want, but now there are new Molcars that are driven by AI, which means that I guess that they're not real Molcars, they're just cars. Anyway, Molcar AI named Cannon, saved by a talented driver. Potato finds out that the driver's searcher is missing Molcar, gets the ideas to use Cannon's AI functionality to help with the search. Relations are provisional, will be updated when more info is announced. All right. The Dead Destruction is obviously continues. It's already finished airing. I don't really know what the go is here for that, but whatever. Duel Masters Lost. Tsuyoku no Suisho. I don't Duel Masters. Hitori Bochi no Isekai Koryaku. Based on a light novel, Haruka has been living his high school life as a loner, but all of a sudden he and his classmates are summoned into another world. A god gives him a list of skills he can freely pick, or at least that was how it was supposed to be, as all the valuable skills have been taken by other classmates. Can't you have more than one people can have the good thing? Give everybody appraisal. After Haruka scolded God, he snapped back and gave all the remaining bad skills to Haruka, so the fart skill. Thanks to the fart skill, Haruka begins his lonely adventure in another world. Note, each episode streamed a week early on streaming services. Original TV broadcast started October the 4th, 2024. Neato. Kido Senshi Gundam, Fukushu no Requiem. In the year 79 of the Universal Century, the Principality of Zeon declares independence from the Earth Federation, plunging the two nations in the war. Wow, really? Thanks to a revolutionary new weapon known as a mobile suit. Oh, I'd like to see what those look like. The Zeon Force initially gains the upper hand. However, they lack the power to take control of the entire Earth, bringing the war to a stalemate. 11 months into the war, the Earth Federation forces managed to seize a Zeon-controlled base located in Eastern Europe. Among the mixed battalion headed to reclaim the base is Sorari and the Red Wolves Division, a mobile suit platoon that has just descended from space. You know, I like Turn A Gundam because it felt like it was really just like, you know, it had to be its own thing because it took place so far in the future, even though it was like kind of technically part of the Universal Century type line, but it's happened so far out that it really isn't. They refer to it as the EE, I think is what they do, but I did really like that. And I watched The Witch from Mercury, obviously, because girls kissing each other. Boy, it would have been great if the girls actually managed to ever kiss each other. So that's a shame. Murai no Koi, the slightly strange high school student Murai, confessed love to his teacher and ultimate game fanatic Tanaka sensei. All right. She refused by telling him she's not interested in real life long black haired boys. Next day, Murai came back with short blonde hair. I'm guessing that must be Murai. Yep, he got the ring. Which made him look just like Tanaka sensei's favorite game character, a nonstop romantic comedy between a stubborn high school boy and his favorite teacher. I mean, I like the age gap. The student teacher thing is fun too sometimes. This is wild. Whatever is happening up here is wonderful. I guess they can defy gravity. That's fun. Anyway, Rising Impact, right. Gowan golfs, but he likes baseball, but he decides to golf. And his grandpa says, you know what you should do is you should be the best golfer in the world and meet a woman. And so he does. I'm not watching it, and I don't continue to watch it, so... Yeah, Gundam continuously don't do separate timelines. For the UC stuff is all one timeline. And then there are other, like Gundam X and Gundam Wing and G Gundam, and they all happen out of step. They're in completely alternate timelines, but UC stuff has kind of always continued throughout the existence of Gundam. And Turn A Gundam, I believe, is it is again very far in the future. Everything goes back to being agrarian around the Earth. But then war is beginning. And then I think, I'm probably going to get this wrong, I think Ian told me that Reconquista in G is technically a longer sequel past Turn A. I think. Yeah, there was something that I saw about how Turn A is like literally you can accept it as part of the Universal Century, but you can't because it actually is so far into the future that it doesn't belong anymore. I can't remember where I read that. I assume it was at animevillage.com, which was Bandai's that was their anime site that they started when the universe was young, when the internet was reasonably young, and they wanted to sell anime in North America. Back when you could buy the Vision of Escaflowne on subtitled VHS tapes, if that's what you wanted, you were able to do that. I had a friend who managed to track it down. They were gorgeous. Think about what it's like watching fourth or fifth generation kind of miserable translated subs from stuff, just copies of copies of copies, and then somebody shows up and it's like, we don't have to watch a dub of this. We can watch like, look at this. It's 360p, right? Like it's like it, but it's not been copied over and over. And we're like, oh my God, you can actually see everything that's happening clearly. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, that was the shit. That was the time. That was like they were selling Gundam Wing on that website and stuff. And then I think when Turn A came out, they had released a timeline to say here's where Turn A happens. And since it's Bandai, I have to assume that is correct. But I mean, shit. I don't want to. I hate talking timelines with people generally because we get into the Zelda timeline and it just makes me mad. Yeah. Yoru wa Neko to Isho season 3. Oh shit, that's the end of the story. Anyway. Wait, you could get a Blu-ray set of Turn A that only had half the episodes? That's disappointing, JJ Card. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that either. All right, let's rocket you turkeys. Back up to, that's a page up, right? Let's go back up. We'll step through this pretty fast because there isn't a lot of stuff on the list that we're excited about, right? There's Ao no Hako, which is a maybe. That's the sports romance badminton thing. I wonder if I should be doing this backwards. Dan Da Dan, maybe I'll watch. Again, we're not sure about that. Let's see what else is in here as well. Gonna tell Heather about all the Maho Shoujo stuff. We'll see how she feels about it. Right, 365 days to the wedding. Kekkon surute honto desu ka? Only watching this to see what the adaptation is. Really, at this point, Kimi wa Meiro-sama. Definitely watching this just because I want to see what it's adapted with. I don't really give a crap about the story much. Kinoko Inu, we'll see what that's gonna be like. There was a long stretch here where I didn't pick anything. Yes. Natsume and his book of friends 7. Yes. Everyone's got to have their own Gundam, and this isn't mine, but this is pretty close. Let's see what else is here. Ranma 1/2. Right, that's coming up too. Get to see that. Rekishi ni nokoru akujo ni naruzo, just to see how this is going to play out. I don't really know if it's a thing I want to watch or not, but Tensei Kisoku Kante Skill de Nariagaru, second season. This is hey, what if I was a little kid with an appraisal skill that could find all the cool people in the universe and put them in working for my tiny little thing, and I could take over as emperor and shit. And it's the second season. There's probably 30 seasons worth of content, I'm sure, to get to where they need to get to. Just gonna talk to Heather about whether we're gonna watch that or not, because we might not. We kind of dropped. I saw people were interested about Thunderbolt Fantasy, so yes, I'm glad. I saw. It's like, great, enjoy a thing. Obviously, I love to see people react to like, yay, a thing is happening. Tono to Inu. Yes, I will see if I can find this, and to watch at least 1 or 2 episodes of it to see if I like it. Tsuma Shogakusei ni Naru. Watching this, I've already read it all. I'm not going to watch the entire season. I am going to watch to see what the adaptation is like, so probably get about 2 or 3 into it and just probably abandon it. Obviously, Uzumaki is out. Not that. Yokai Academy, and welcomes their new teacher. Yeah, because I'm kind of a sucker for... There's a great one. What's it again? Kanojo Roku Rokubi? Or something like that. There's a cool... I saved an image on my phone of it. It's probably in my shit posts or something. But there's just... It's like this guy... The school is mixed between, monster, like yokai people and human people. And he ends up hanging out with this girl who's a Roku Rokubi. And that's the long neck lady, right? I have this incredibly long neck that's prehensile and stuff like that. And it's very cute because there's all sorts of there's at least one of every yokai kid. And it's like funny, you don't see a lot of there's 15 Roku Rokubi people in the scores. It's just the one, right? That kind of thing. But it was so cute because there's this one thing where he's trying to he's looking at something. I don't know if it was a spoiler or if it was something scary in a magazine. And he takes the magazine because he's like, oh wow, and she's like, oh, I don't want to see that. And he's like, what, this? And he this is high school students, right? And he's like, oh no, check it out. And he shoves it at her head in the next panel, and her neck no, and her neck projects back with her head way back from her body, obviously, to avoid being able to look at the thing. And in the third panel, she has wrapped her neck 2-3 times around his head, around his neck, to basically tell him, stop that. And she does say no, don't, whatever. And I was like, this is the cutest flirting. I like this so much. It was just these 3 panels. I'm like, oh, this is really cute, actually. Okay. So yeah, I have a soft spot for whenever there's yokai people. There's one I'm reading right now. Oh God. Okimi Tsumuki and her not every day. What is it called again? It's so good. She's a wolf girl. She's a symmetrical wolf girl. She has 2 ears because there's kids in her. There's different yokai have different manifestations of how the elements come out, and she has 2 wolf ears where her normal ears are, where human ears would be, I should say. She has 2 wolf ears. She has a tail, but because she has to wear a skirt to school, what she does is she has a strap on her leg so she can strap her tail to her leg so she doesn't wag her tail and lift up her skirt accidentally. And she has giant feet with pointy claws for nails on her human feet. But they're big feet because wolves have big feet. And I'm just it feels a lot like the writer's barely disguised fetish, but it's because every every hero shot of her whenever they do like a single page spread, there's always like an opportunity to be like, I'm gonna draw her shoes, just to remind you again, she has massive feet. So, yeah. Tsumiki-san, I think that's if you looked on like a manga site or wherever for Tsumiki, I think you'll find her, and it's very cute. And it's a kind of like it's a slow build romance thing, and clearly she knows what she wants, and she wants to take her time with this boy that she meets, and the boy is quite clueless, and it's lovely. So probably gonna watch this. Not gonna buy a hybrid SUV. If I was gonna buy an SUV, I'm not gonna buy an SUV. That was easy. I was gonna buy another vehicle though. I'd probably get I probably look for like a fully electric minivan type situation. But yeah, just a people mover, but it's like fully electric appeals to me. Frankly, I would Ogami Tsumiki to Kinichijo. Thank you, Gekyoru. It's in chat. Ogami Tsumiki to Kinichijo. Nichijo, but Kinichijo. It is cute as hell. I like it so much. And if you're one of those people who translates manga or whatever too, I think they're always looking for people to help out doing that too. But yeah, excited about this. Yakusho Kizoku, second season. Hell yes. Can't wait. I hope somebody translates it. I hope it's easy to find. Neko ni Tensei Shitoi, I didn't bother with that. I think we're kind of just out all the way down here, right? Yeah, I don't think I marked anything else, even in the movie section, because by and large wasn't that interested in the movie section. Getting into the OVAs and stuff. Murai no Koi. Okay, you know what? I am going to put a maybe watching on that. I don't know how it's going to play out. I kind of want to see, though, and I could really use just like kind of a stupid, goofy rom-com. And also, I can drop these things, so we'll see what happens. And that's it. That's it, folks. That's all there is for anime in fall. We have to wait until the next winter to get more things, obviously. Yeah, Ogami Tsumiki is under current constant translation, but it's being translated by a group called Emergency Tsumiki Committee, which makes me worried that the people who are translating are like, yes, we're happy to translate this, but holy shit, would we like more people to come on board? So, yeah, that's it, folks. I am not like super excited about this season, but at least a couple shows that are like, this seems like fun, and holy crap, more Natsume. So yes, that's great. And last season, there was some good stuff. Obviously, Mayanaka Punch, if you didn't get a chance to watch that and you like screwball comedy, you should definitely watch Mayanaka Punch. That we were like, that is good shit. So that's how that is. And the moral of the story is, if you liked everything you saw here tonight, as I'm going home, I'm trying to think about, because obviously it's going to be just under 3 hours, which is fine. That's not a bad thing. I clearly did not go on and on and on about stuff. I'm trying to remember if there were like things that I like the Too Many Losing Heroines had a fun opening, and had really, like, all three of the endings were pretty good. They were interesting because they had multiple endings for the show. For each one of the heroines, got like a 3-episode jaunt of being able to, or 4 episodes or whatever, of having them be the main character in the ending. So they got their own image song and stuff too. It was kind of fun. Yeah, and I'm just trying to remember if there were other things where I'm like, boy, yeah, the songs from this were good too. I mentioned some other ones that were also like Mayanaka Punch has like good opening, good ending, and also go check out their YouTube channel. The Katakawa Anime Japanese YouTube channel has some YouTube videos by Mayanaka Punch, and and that some of them do have English subtitles baked into them. So clearly the Japanese companies are aware that it's not just make a thing, hand it over to Crunchyroll, and now that's all we're going to do. Enough of them are like, oh, it's there's a thing I can do for we can be reaching out to the other places around the world that consume our content and give them give them English subtitles on our Japanese content, and that is okay to do that naturally here. We don't have to hand that stuff over to Crunchyroll and let them put it behind a paywall or whatever the fuck. So yeah, anyway, I think I just wrap up. That's what we're gonna do. This has been great. And it's nice to have it done under 3 hours. Thank you everybody for coming to watch the Roundup, and I hope you guys pick some good stuff for yourselves to watch, and we'll have more comments from me and by next season, and of course you will comment on my terrible choices by next season as well. And if you want to support what we do here at the channel, of course the Patreon is a grand way to do it. Patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. But you can also do it in other ways. The YouTube channels are all open for memberships, so you can join and give a bit of money there, and super thanks and all the kind of things you do. But even just, like, share, subscribe, those things are important because the larger they get, a lot of times that encourages other people to also want to come by and subscribe too. Does it help with the algorithm? God, I have no idea. I see so much crazy shit like all over the place. I see stuff that I would never have expected to get like 100,000 views in like 4 days from some like no-name YouTuber to me, but they have like a massive fan base. I'm like, well, good for them, obviously. And it's just like, I don't know what works on YouTube and what doesn't half the time. Maybe I just like niche content, and it's just like stuff says like this has 400 views, this has 400,000 views. It's like I don't know what I'm watching anymore. But yeah, if you like our stuff, what we really want is for you just to let your friends know, let maybe coworkers know, turn your family onto our stuff maybe or whatever. Have some children and then make them watch our stuff. That's always important, is to make sure that you make your kids smaller versions of yourself. You can also support us through Twitch, and I will thank the people who have subscribed tonight. And also you can go to the store.loadingreadyrun.com, a great place to buy merchandise. There will be more merchandise showing up in there. Eventually I got to get my reorders done, and that is about it. So with that, we will see you guys again on this kind of bonus stream and the next season goes by. So take care. Have a good night.